How does one define the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? It's a fine-tuned symphony of motorized grace and a death-defying pursuit of speed, glory, and immortality. Dozens have lost their lives for a chance to get a victory at the famous speedway. It's a stretch of bricks where pioneers of auto racing embarked on a journey that has captivated millions for a century. The 2.5-mile brickyard has seen more highs and lows than any other racetrack. Many drivers have won. Numerous drivers have lost. But for every legend who solved this track, the stories of those who come up empty are a myth. That's the harsh reality of this sport. But without the bittersweet, the milk and wreath in victory lane wouldn't be as sweet. Speed is the name of the game here. Very few have figured it out to a T. Rutherford, John Cobb, Fittipaldi to name a few, but only A.J. Foyt, Al Unser, and Rick Mears are the only people who have won 4 Indy 500s. That, my friend, is extraordinary. Here's the thing. In Indy, you're either first or forgotten. Cruel? Maybe, but such is life. Nevertheless, every year a champion is chosen, and comes the chance to cross these bricks and live forever. It's the sounds of Mary Holman, Jim Nabors, and Tom Carnegie. It's the sights of balloons in the sky, the scent of race fuel, and for 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon, a taste of no place you'd rather be. Today, the cars and stars of the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series take on Indianapolis in a 100-lap grudge match of skill and luck. Just driver, machine, and the pursuit of immortality.
Welcome, race fans, here to this afternoon race here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where we're proud to bring you the Indy 250 here, brought to you by Gulf Coast Indy Series, Area 51, Dark Horse Racing, all proud to bring you to this afternoon's event here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where 33 drivers are going to be running for $50 here tonight and be able to say, hey, I'm a crown of Indianapolis Motor Speedway here this afternoon. Thank you, everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube, for tuning in here this afternoon. Hope you're going to enjoy the show here as we're going to get ready to call all the action. I got special people up in the booth with me here tonight, and they're going to be calling all the action, as we're going to have Lee Tidwell out in the booth and also Wesley Outland. Welcome, gentlemen, to the Indy 250.
What is going on, Mr. Moya? How are you doing this wonderful Saturday afternoon?
I am doing great. How are you doing, sir? We haven't had you in the booth for a long time, so I'm sure the fans are out there excited for tonight's race or afternoon race. I'm going to say tonight probably a lot of times because I'm so used to it. But anyways, yeah, these 33 drivers, guys, 33 drivers are going to be racing to crown themselves and say, hey, I did it. I won the first race ever here at Indy 250.
Yeah, it's going to be an outstanding evening. We have multiple drivers from multiple different leagues joining us today for a star-studded event in Indianapolis, the Indy 250, 100 laps around this 2.5-mile track. And Wesley, we've been watching practice, watching qualifying. Brandon Colley on the pole at the moment at a 39.245, but Craig Forsyth only 9 1/1000ths of a second behind him.
And we're just seeing the final stages of qualifying right now. 32 drivers have taken time. Literally, the interval, just mere thousandths of a second between 31st to 32nd as these drivers fight for those 33 positions. If you are in position 34 on back, you've got to pack it up and head home and get ready for next year. 33 of the best IndyCar esports competitors ready to go for the first time ever on Freaky Fast Network for the greatest spectacle in virtual racing. Lee Tidwell.
Well, and you think about it, too. We've got the Gulf Coast IndyCar guys. We've got Area 51 guys here. We've got some World Series of Sim Racing guys here. Robert, who else do we have here with us tonight? I was looking through the Discord that they have created for this, and we have, Team Yingling is here. We've got the Coke Line. I don't know what team that is.
A new quick qualifier, Lee. Zach Hall just went to the top of the board, 39.226.
Zach Hall, one of the quickest guys in World Series of Sim Racing. Big win at Daytona during last season. They are on the off week this week. Will not start racing again until next week for the next season. But Zach Hall, as you said, in the lead. The pole, 39.226. Brandon Colley moves down to second. Forsyth will be in third. Cedric Hunter, another Category 5 guy, will be in fourth. And fellas, that looks like that is going to do it for qualifying. We will get set to go over our starting grid here for the Indy 250 live on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Lee Tidwell along with Robert Moya, and now my new best friend in the world, Mr. Wesley Outlet is joining us. And here we go. Zach Hall will take the pole, as we said, at 39.226. Brandon Colley in second in that 01 machine. Craig Forsyth will be in third in the 131. In number 113 will be Cedric Hunter in fourth position. In fifth, Brian Johnson in the number 28. In sixth, Ryan Kelly in the number 67. Caleb Vincey in the number 21 will be in seventh position. Christopher, help me with this one, Wesley.
Christopher Gretzky.
Craig, I will get that right. In the eighth position, Charles Teed in ninth, Michael Spell in 10th. It's going to be Eric Peterson in 11th. Charles Johnson in 12th, Sean in 13th, AJ Musselman in 14th, James Brooks in 15th, Brandon Pasalacqua in 16th position, Benjamin Combs in 17th, Alexander Sand in 18th, Josh Gardner will start in 19th, Lewis Woodall will start in the 20th position. All these guys within 1/10 of a second of the leader. As we move on, 21st will be Jack Walls, 22nd, Brock Wright, 23rd, Josh Apollos, and 24th, Gary Corley, and 25th, Simon Grills, 26th, David LeClaire, 27th, Nick Winnock, 28th, Joe Hutchings, 29th, Hayden Herman, 30th will be Cody Bullock, 31st, Bob Skinner, 32nd, Bill Schwabauer, 33rd, Maxwell Caldwell, and 34th, Jay Vaught. Vaught and Caldwell not putting times down in qualifying. So 34 cars showing on our beginning grid. I believe we're going to have 32 take it here this evening in Wesley. This is one of those tracks when you have this caliber of talent, this kind of track, this kind of car with the downforce it creates, the speeds they create. This is going to be a race for the ages.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, and you got to think of who's going to be the man crossing the virtual yard of bricks as the field now begins to roll off of the starting grid behind the toe of the iRacing Ford Mustang pace car. They're going to make one preliminary lap, and let's take a lap around what is the virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway, reaching speeds to almost 230 plus miles an hour, not even counting the draft. They'll make their way into turn number one. Turn one will then become a short chute, if you will, a proverbial little straightaway that makes their way down from the short chute into that second turn. From the second turn, from that short chute, they'll make their way down the long back straightaway that can literally fit a football field, Wembley Stadium, a golf course, and so much more. Even a brand new USAC track is even in the infield there. They'll make their way down the long back straightaway, and then they'll come back into turn number 3 to the west end of the speedway. To the west end of the speedway, they'll make their arc around, coming to the start finish. Another short chute, if you will, between turns number 3 and 4. Then they'll make their way off of turn 4 and roar to 200 plus miles an hour open wheel style here to the virtual yard of Brooks. It should be exciting. The Indy 250 before the greatest spectacle in racing, the 104th running of the Indianapolis 500 tomorrow. And that'll be live, of course, on national television on NBC. But now we're going to see who's going to be the winner of this Crown Jewel Esports iRacing event. Lee Tidwell, it should be a good one. Thanks for having me alongside for the broadcast call.
As we get ready to get set, Zach Hall will get us underway. Collie to the outside of him. Second row, Forsyth and Hunter. Third row, Johnson and Bensey. And then you've got Kelly and Teeter in there as well. So we are going to get set for 100 laps around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The pace car will pull off. We wait for the green flag, and here we go. 100 laps with these guys here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Zach Hall going to bring it to the line. Going down into one. Going to go to the high side in front of Brandon Collie. Forsyth's going to drop to the inside. Around one, it's going to be Zach Hall is bouncing around. They're going to be in front of Forsyth. Going to drop Collie back to third position. Johnson will be in fourth as we come out of two in that long backstretch, Wesley. Look at him spread out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have a race down the back straightaway. Zach Hall, the pole car, works his way into the short chute into turn number 3. Forsyth closes right in there behind him. Nell tipped up with Johnson to boot. Then you got a battle going on for fourth and fifth side by side with Benson and Collie. They'll come to the line in lap number 1. 99 to go in the Indianapolis 250. They are on the gas back to turn 1, and we got a crash. One flying through the air.
I think that was Collie that went flip. We'll have to take a look at that. It's the 01.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's Brandon Collie. Oh, man, Collie was such a good qualifying effort. And then you see Forsyth drops down to the inside, and then Collie just back there. It looks like those open wheels, they're so dangerous when they touch each other.
Just bounced off of that other car, that pink machine there, and Collie goes pirouetting through the air, flying into the catch fence and maybe more. And you see him end up on the inner wall barrier, the safer wall barrier. A couple of other cars getting together. The 13 and the 83 also crashed, trying to miss Collie flying through the air. And what a tough break. And let's be honest here, as we see the 0-1 of Brandon Collie finally coming to a rest virtually. You crash one of these cars, you're more or less out, pretty much.
It's going to leave Zach Hall in the lead. Forsyth will slide into second. Bensey now up to third. Johnson in fourth. Chris K. I still got to get his name. He's going to be in fifth.
Christopher Gretzky.
There you go. It'll take me 50 more laps to get that right. Ryan Kelly in sixth. Charles Teeton seventh. Charles Johnson in eighth. Garrett in ninth. And Michael Spell will round out and win our first caution of the evening here on lap number 3 at Indianapolis. Wesley, he saw as they came out of 4 after that first lap, really started to spread out. I don't think these guys are going to hold back much. I think that it's going to be flat out racing from the green flag lap 1 until the very end of this race. I don't think they're going to hold back. And you call a lot of leagues as well as I do. You watch these to have 100-plus races, you tend to see a lot of them holding back, waiting to see what happens, really making it short for the final, half, most not even third of the race. But now it looks like these guys are just boom. And look at now we're going to have our first, Robert, get ready to turn the volume down, pit party here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as we got a lot of guys coming down. Zach Hall will lead them to pit road, and hopefully we'll see any black flag penalties or any line penalties here on pit road. That has hurt a lot of people in past races.
I find it very ironic that we got drivers coming down to the pit lane for pit service. Zach Hall, the pole car, he comes onto the pit lane. So also for pits is going to be the driver of Cedric Hunter, Brian Johnson, Ryan Kelly, Michael Spell, Johnson, all coming in for service. Pit exit now for Ryan Kelly. They're riding on board now with the Dark Horse Racing entry of number 27. That's the neon yellow entry of Dark Horse Racing, Charles Teed. As position, Craig Forsyth now move as the new leader, as again the man that was on the pole comes to the pit lane, Cody Hall, and we will set the field back up for a restart here once we get things adjusted. Coming off of an multi-car accident down the front straightaway, across the yard of bricks here at the Pagoda at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway after an accident involving the driver of Brandon Collie. A couple of other cars involved, included the number 83, the 13, all caught up in those accidents, and that puts us under the yellow flag. Craig Forsyth from Canada leads the way in the 131 lead, and still a long way to go here in lap 4 of 100 3 laps under caution so far in the inaugural running of Freaky Fast Indianapolis 250.
Hey, Robert, quick question, sir. What tire limit and fast repair on today's race?
They got 1 fast repair and unlimited tires.
So that's going to explain a lot, especially when you watch the Cat 5 guy. If there's a caution, they're going to come in and fresh tires. Unlimited tires, that's just something you're going to see. Unfortunately, the one quick that at least saves Brad and Ollie from having his race ended in number 2.
Greg Forsyth onto the pit lane now. Here he comes. He gives up the lead. Currently in the 6th position, coming in for service. Lee, before we go any further, since we're hearing maybe a couple of hiccups and a bobble and a giggle on our voices garbling, let everybody know the broadcast positions that we are in, because basically for you in Tennessee, for me above you in Kentucky, it has been a logistical nightmare. I'm pretty sure that Robert Moyer has not officially freaked out for Freaky Fast Network. He was earlier about pulling his hair, but we're doing our best to make this work logistically from our locations. And you tell your location first, because it's a lot more unique.
So, yeah, actually, at work, I took an extended lunch break. I'm sitting in my car in the parking lot outside my office with my laptop, my passenger seat running the audio portion of this, my tablet in my lap while the broadcast. I've got my phone up on the little phone holder that usually for my GPS, with the broadcast now going from Facebook. And I'm not spotting all this off of my. So if my voice sounds funny, if I break up here and there, please know forever in my heart that I apologize profusely and wholeheartedly to the entire listening audience of the Indy 250 here on Free Fast Broadcasting. And if you ever so kindly give me a kick there on Facebook and make me feel a little better about sitting in the car on this hot summer day. 81, really hot. It's 81. It's not too awful out here in Tennessee. What's it like in Kentucky there? The extended checkout hotel, Mr. Wesley.
Well, as the field gets ready to come back for the first restart of the restart zone for the Indianapolis 250, it's been CNT'd, ready to bring them single file. They tried it double file, ended up with calamity on lap 1. Let's see what they can do on the restart as they roar back past the yard of bricks, up to speed into turn number 1. Bency on the inside. Everyone following the same shadow movement. Now move to the outside lane by T. Garrett on the bottom. They'll move for that second position as they work their way through the short chute into turn number 2 down, make their way to the back straightaway. While we also watch Alexander Sant, Brandon Pasquala, all these drivers battling for position inside the top 10. Now, my broadcast position, maybe a little bit more refined than yours, obviously, but mine has also been a logistical nightmare. It's scheduled to be in the press box high above Richmond Raceway, Richmond, Kentucky, hooked up to a modem internet, ready to go before announcing for Speed 51 television coverage with the Butterball. The Butterball got postponed because of weather after driving all the way from North Carolina to Kentucky yesterday, set up, get everything ready to go, on the air, live during hot laps. The bottom falls out. They they call the race off, tear down equipment. So it was either go to a truck stop and do kind of like what you're doing, or stay and go do the race in the press box at Richmond Raceway. But when the race got called, obviously that wasn't an option because the promoter lives he had other things that he was planning to do. He's not going to stay at the racetrack when it's raining. So anyhow, because of the great people here at the Hilton, at the Hampton Inn in Richmond, Kentucky, can I give them a shameless plug, Robert? Don't get mad. I know they didn't give us any money for sponsorship, but they basically said, okay, Wesley, you are a very celebrated supporter of Hilton Honors. You've been with us for years. So what we're going to do is not charge you for tonight. We're going to let you stay and check out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Hopefully this race will be over by then, and you can call the race. So enough about me. Let's get back to the show. Sean Garrett leads the way. Caleb Bency second. Charles T third. Combs fourth. Musselman the top 5, and around they go to the front straightaway now, Lee.
Yeah, Musselman's getting fallen. As we saw the move by Garrett to the inside of Benson takes the lead there. Now it looks like Teams to be on the inside. And Combs is pulled up. Blair is pulled up. And I had Musselman past that wall. Hit that outside wall. Might lose a few more positions. It's back in 6th position now. In that 54 machine, we got a lot of movement back behind him. Tire touch there. Musselman and Bullock. As we come down the backstretch, we've got a race going on back here in the back. Not necessarily the back, but from 6th position on, as Musselman is just getting bulldozed now. Here comes Bullock down to the inside. Pasalacqua is also going to be looking to make that pass as well. And these cars, they move. It's not like watching a stock car race or a dirt race. They can move so quickly and just zoom in and out. You've got 5 cars from Garrett Combs that have just pulled away a little bit from the rest of the field. Now we're battling back from 6th on back.
Under a second, if you will, under 100th of a second, if you will. The interval from 1st to 5th as they're bobbing and weaving like boxers inside of a squared circle down the back straightaway here at the Yard of Bricks into turn 3, and we got a caution. Caution coming out second time.
I think Schawbauer got into it.
And I'm understanding it might be Bell that got collected in this thing here. We're going to take a look at it and find out what happened.
Yeah,
Bill Schawbauer. Up, rim riding, going back down here into the wall again. Wow, he never flipped it. And he's literally riding up the wall. Literally riding up the wall virtually around the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, waving to the virtual fans as he goes by. Yes.
He's just going to hang out up there until the tow truck comes and gets him. He's all right. The Schwabauer.
So my question is this, Lee. How damaged is Schwabauer's car, though? I mean, it doesn't look like it really got that tore up, per se, except maybe under the undercarriage of the car. But, I mean, besides a couple of sparks, it really didn't look that bad. He might be able to continue along.
Yeah, and with that fast repair as well, you know, it depends on if he has to use that or not. So we're back under caution, lap 11 of 100 here at Indianapolis with all kinds of different race leagues that are joining us. And we were talking about that before we went green. So no, some more of the teams. We got Turn 1 East Stand joining us. Category 5, we talked about the Snake Pit. Carb Day is here. Gasoline Alley is here. Pagoda. Team Pagoda is here. We've got so many leagues and so many drivers that are joining us today that this truly is an all-star event. Kind of like what Freaky Fast is going to do in October. More details to come. Stay tuned. But we are under caution, and it looks like we're going to have our second pit party of the evening. And we got a lot of guys coming down pit road now. They're going to go ahead and get some fresh tires and fill up on fuel as well. And it looks like Garrett is going to stay out and inherit that lead.
Back to the lead again. By the way,
Sean,
Robert, I'm going to send you a picture of our you know, maybe I don't know if Lee can do it or not, but I'm going to send you a virtual picture of our broadcast position, and you can be like, Facebook it. Yeah, I'm going to send it to you so you can post it on your page and say, whatever it takes or however they're getting it done. So definitely. So Lee, you send your picture as well. Send your selfie. You got a selfie, Send a selfie send a selfie of your broadcast position, if you will, is what I meant. I
was about to say, it's first time you met me, and you already asking for pics. That's usually a third conversation thing before you be like, hey, sliding in the DMs,
Hey, send me a picture, baby. Oh wow! So Sean Garrett is the man out in front. We're under caution. I got to make sure this is the PG rated show. Got to keep this for the kids. Sean Garrett leads the way. Cody Bullock is in second spot. Simon Grills is in third. Joe Hutchins fourth, and Alexander Santos fifth. And Lee, I got to say, buddy, this is something historic with me and you doing as well, because this is actually my first time announcing esports for an IndyCar race. I've always wanted to. I've never had the real opportunity to do it. But, I was like, and maybe I kind of lied to Robert, like, yeah, man, I can do it, because I can do it. I can, because I've always liked IndyCars. I've always followed IndyCars. A matter of fact, true story. When I was announcing, like, back in 2007, 2008, no lie, I was good friends with Mike King. Mike King, the former announcer of the IMS radio network, Wally Levitt. I actually got offered a job, Lee, to broadcast for IndyCar radio for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway radio network, and I turned it down because of just recently getting married and having a son and living in North Carolina, and it was just like today, a logistical nightmare. and probably one of the biggest regrets I ever missed doing, because I always said I want to have a chance to announce the Indy 500, and I don't know if I'll ever get that chance again. But that was pretty cool to have a chance to come to Indianapolis and try to audition for that. But because of my fear, I guess, I just chose not to do it. But these Indy cars and I tell people all the time, as the lights are off on the pace car, we're getting ready for a restart. This is not a game. This is a simulation. If you're going to fly a plane, you got to go through simulators to learn how to land, to take off, to fly through the air, to get through the bumps, the turbulence. The same thing with these race cars, whether it's Indy cars, NASCARs, late models, modifieds, legend cars, street stock cars, all the things that iRacing has created. It's phenomenal. And these guys, I promise you, even though they're not feeling that real rumble of the race cars, unless you got like a ButtKicker sound system, they're putting their heart and their soul, Lee, into this, like we are putting into this broadcast on Freaky Fast.
Oh, no, I mean, these guys, there's so much discipline, so much skill that they have at honing their craft. And that really, it's what it is. It doesn't matter if you're racing on real tracks or virtual tracks. It doesn't matter if you're a football player or a boxer. You got to hone your craft. And these guys do that week in and week out with their leagues, and to be able to present that with all these other drivers on a platform such as this at a storied track like Indy, it's got to be a dream come true for a lot of these guys out here today.
Ready for the restart. The lights are off on the pace car. They're going to make their way back down the front straightaway here in front of the pagoda. The pace car ducks onto pit lane. Here come the Warlords, virtual style, ready to go back to open wheel go fast in the Indianapolis 250, the virtual greatest spectacle in racing. Green flag back in the air. It's Garrett, Bullock, Grills, Hutchins, Sant. They're going to go now 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. May the show go on again through the short chute into turn 2.
Going to have Garrett diving into 2. Right behind him is Cody Bullock. Simon Grills has now made it up to 3rd position. Sants is going to stay on the high side. Hutchins is going to fall to the low side. Now we're going to move it around a little bit, and let's have some movement going up top. Cody Bullock's going to overtake that lead down on the bottom side. Nice move there by Bullock. Bullock's going to be in the lead. Garrett in 2nd. Now Garrett retakes the lead from Bullock. Grills is going to move up to 3rd position as we come out of 4. Coming down that front stretch. Look at him moving back and forth. And Garrett is going to take 2nd. Hutchins now moves into 2nd. Bullock 3rd. Grills 4th. And Sant in 5th position as we go into one lap. 15 of 100.
Back across the stripe. Another lap in. 85 remaining here. Actually make it 84 to go as they go down the back straightaway. Everyone's starting to bob and weave and move to the inside, to the outside. There is Nick Winuk there for Dark Horse Racing in that 33. You see his entry now starting to battle alongside Benjamin Combs, or maybe now they're going to go single file as they work their way again through the short chute into turn number 3 and back down the front straightaway. They're finally getting spread out, if you will, as a great battle continues for 13th. It's Peterson, Walls, and Woodall. That goes on back to speed in turn 1. And a caution. Caution coming out for the 3rd time right in front of all of this chaos. A couple of cars have crashed. Understanding the leader might have crashed. Cody Bullock, let's watch the replay. A battle for the lead, and it all comes unglued from here. Look out. North end of the speedway, all the way around into the short chute in turn number 1 and 2. Upside down rim riding off the safer wall bearer for Hutch Sport Racing number 11. Cody Bullock puts us under our 3rd caution flag here in the Indianapolis 250. Lee Tidwell.
Yep. Sorry, I had to adjust stuff in my car, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
There's so much going on.
I thought maybe the picture I sent you scared you away or something. You know, I was like...
back under caution. Garrett will inherit lead. Did we have the replay yet, Robert? I did not see what happened there.
Yes, we already seen the replay. Yeah, he basically rode up the wall, and Cody Bullock rode up the wall, rim-righted, and on the safer wall barrier. So that's pretty much what happened. And the number 25.
That's some of the things with these open wheel cars. No matter if it is Indy, you look at the dirt cars, anything that's open wheel. Those you can't race as close as what you'd like to, like in stock cars and street stocks, late models, whatever, because you ain't got fenders. Those wheels are so open, they just touch, and then you could be shot up into the air. Heck, you can fly to the moon. We've seen that in iRacing a lot of times. Fly me to the moon, and they just blast off. And it looked like there that we just had some wheel touch, and then up on that wall. And I'm still wanting someone to wall surf again. That was interesting on that first call.
Yes.
I've never seen that live, only on like YouTube top 10 type things.
By the way, I didn't know you were a big Frank Sinatra fan, you know?
That's the only song I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just picking on you.
Come fly with me, come fly away.
Frank Sinatra's the man.
We got a crash on the pit road, ladies and gentlemen. A couple of cars have got together on the pit lane as here comes Sean Garrett. He'll give up the lead. He'll come to the pits. Alexander Shan is on pit road. Musselman on pit road. So is Gretzky and everyone else on pit exit now. Christopher Gretzky, Alexander Saint giving up his position. And now Simon Grills will make the fourth different leader so far here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway virtually in the virtual greatest spectacle in racing, the Indianapolis 250. Listen, I think 250 miles is sufficient for an esports race. Could you imagine going 500 miles, 200 laps? I mean, I would be more slam out.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard enough just to I used to have to travel a lot for my previous job and 4-hour one-way trips and then work for 2 hours where I'm going and then 4-hour trip back, so. And I hated that. I couldn't imagine having to have the concentration of going 200 plus miles an hour with cars literally 2 inches from you, and the slightest mistake, the slightest miscalculation could be the difference between not only victory and defeat, but walking away and riding away in an ambulance. And that is something that I could not physically do. I could not mentally do what these guys do. Not only the guys that are going to be racing tomorrow in the Indianapolis 500, but these guys today. That mental fortitude it takes to keep that concentration throughout the entire time. That's something that I was not born with. I was not blessed with that gene. My wife can attest to that. My patience is very thin. My attention span even thinner. More thin than my hair, perhaps. But 18 of 100. Here at Indy, so we're on our third caution of the evening. Simon Grills will inherit the lead. Benzie moves up to second. Leclerc to third. Pasalacqua and Charles T fourth and fifth. Those guys have made some monster moves here. Garner in sixth. Combs in seventh. Winnuck in eighth. Peterson in ninth. And Woodall moves up into 10th position. And looking back, because I can only see the top 15. Robert, where's Zach Hall at? I am curious after he is in 28th position, Wesley. 20th, excuse me. That pit stop could end up hurting him, or it could end up happening, but look who he's got in front of him. Brian Johnson, that's a team member right there. Bob Skinner's back in 24th. That's another member of Cat 5 as well. So these guys might be working the strategy I talked about of let's let them race it out at the beginning. Let's sit back and see what happens, and then let's pull it up. Because if you look up front, they are not holding back.
No, sir. No, sir. They are not. They're not holding back. And you look at Zach Hall, you're back on the high horse, so to speak. He's fallen back to 20th, but, he's the pole car. And he's literally still got plenty of time to make some moves and get up there. And kind of surprised because he had such a fast car, and then he kind of faded away there after that first caution flag came to the pit lane. And since then, it's been a struggle, if you will, for Hall to get back up there. We're riding on board now with the Buckeye State driver, Hayden Herman, in car number 32. This is inside the top 12, if you will. He currently sits in 11th position. And again, as we are literally about to put 20 laps into the Indianapolis 250 here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting, let's bring our host back into the broadcast chair, Robert Moyer. And Robert, what is your take so far of what we've seen here in the early going? 4 caution flags in the first 20 laps. Ready to see that green flag stretch of racing, if you will. But this is typical Indy, I think, so far.
Yes, I have to agree with you. I think this is typical Indy. We're going to see dicing and slicing, like these guys like to call it. You know, you got to give room out here because these cars can, warp a little bit here and there, and it just sends cars all around. Not that these guys are trying it, but so far from what I'm seeing, it's been a really, really good race. You got the front runners from the beginning of the race falling to the back, and you got the back coming to the front. So, stay tuned because God knows what's going to happen in the middle of the race.
And again, this is the Dark Horse Racing Gulf Coast IndyCar Area 51 Racing presents the Indy 250. Imagine that. That's a lot to swallow there, Lee. As we go back to grid, we got a crash on the end of the speedway down the front straightaway. They were coming back to speed on the restart, and just as fast as the green flag flies, Lee, we've got trouble on the main straightaway out of turn 4. Understanding it might be Grills' car. Let's look at the replay. Simon Grills in the 16. The Home Depot entry on the top of your screen in the top right for Hutch Sport Racing. And then the Red Bull car goes around. And then it looks like he just could not get it corrected and bounced off another car. And here we go round and round again. Lyrics to a song by Van Halen and what happened to Grills off of turn 4.
The Red Bull car got up underneath his back end with the wing. That's exactly what happened to Grills. Oh, there goes the Blue Angel car. He's flying around.
Flying through the air. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell y'all something. If you think it's hard to call the stock cars on iRacing, try to call these bad boys. As small as they are, as small as the number can be. I've always was told by Mike King and even my friend Mark James of IndyCar Radio now, who's lead announcer. I talked with him a couple of weeks ago, actually, via Twitter. I've had him on radio shows with me before in the past. And I even asked Mark James, I said, Mark, how do y'all call the cars, because they're so big, they're coming at you so fast in a cup car. You can see a cup car, you can see a big number on the side panel of a driver door. These cars have like the smallest little numbers behind the back of the driver, where the driver's heads are. And honestly, he was always telling me, look for the similarities of or the differences, if you will, of the car colors. Maybe the wheels of the cars, they might be inner wheels are red instead of black, or white or yellow, or maybe the colors of the cars have a special kind of color scheme, and that's how they can be able to pinpoint and dissect quickly, Lee, who was in which car. And we're still trying to find out, by the way. Our producers are in the production truck for Freaky Fast to find out who that car was that flew through the air. I didn't even see that one. One happening.
We're just going to call it Maverick. He was in a Blue Angels car, so Blue Angels airplane car, Maverick. Yes. So he's Maverick now. So Maverick went for a nice little trip there after that
Goose.
incident by Grills. Well,
you mean Goose, right?
Goose didn't survive, though, man.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of not surviving, we've got cars that are already out. Cedric Hunter is out. He got bopped into there in the first, used his fast repair, then the second caution got ran into from behind again. Cedric Hunter in the pink car. We used to say the pink Hello Kitty car, but I don't know if he's got Hello Kitty on it. He doesn't now, of course, because it's not there anymore. But Cedric Hunter is out. So we've already got guys that are falling out of this race due to some of these cautions. So, the field is starting to thin out. Maybe that will allow a longer green flag run. But there's still lots of jockeying, and I think that the no-lift syndrome is still setting in. The excitement, the adrenaline of this race is still setting in. Hopefully after this caution, where that subsides a little bit, and then we've got a little bit more cognitive thinking on how we're driving out there. But there's a lot of guys that's full send right now.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to send it off of turn 4 when that green flag comes out again, and we'll see what these drivers can do. Caleb Bency is the man out in front. Brandon Pascualacqua in the number 2 position as we're getting ready to get the call of Charles T. 3rd. Josh Garner is in 4th position as we now ride on board with Charles Johnson. That's the driver currently in the 11th spot. There's your top 4 on the upper left of your screen. 23 of 100 laps. We are under the yellow flag again here after an accident, a multi-car accident, if you will, on the top end of the speedway out of turn 4. And again, we're getting the field set to go back again for the restart. Coming back for green, Caleb Bency. There's Josh Garner. He sits in fourth for Dark Horse Racing. Nestled in between Teed and Leclerc, who's in the fifth position. David Leclerc. Sixth, Eric Peterson. Seventh, Benjamin Combs. Eighth, Lewis Woodall. Ninth, and Hayden Herman round out the top 10. Johnson, Brooks, Spell, Walls, Hutchins, the top 15 of 34 starters in this inaugural running on Freaky Fast for the greatest virtual spectacle in racing, the Indy 250. And still, honestly, Lee, a long way to go as we approach almost 75 laps to the restart.
Yeah, we got a lot of racing to go, fellas. So calm it down. You know, don't make me call your mamas and have them have to talk with you about, you know, patience. Patience is a virtue, and we need that right now. We need some green flag laps. We need to get some racing going on that doesn't involve cars being damaged and taken out. But I believe that like I said, the nerves, the anxiety, the adrenaline that has been pumping through these guys' veins are starting to subside. The pace car will pull off. Bency will bring them to the line. Pasalaco right behind him. T. Gardner and Leclerc will round out your top five here at Indianapolis. It'll be lap 24 of 100 when we cross the line. Bency will bring them across those bricks. And then immediately Pasalaco to the high side. Teed now is going to look and figure out what he's going to do. He's going to stay down low, hug the bottom. Pasalaco is going to drop to the bottom behind Bency. We come out of one into two. Bency will continue to lead. Pasalaco in third. Teed in fourth. Gardner in fifth. Leclerc in fifth. Bency will bring him down the backstretch. We got a little bit of movement here. Pasalaco will come to the high side. Look at him, Wesley. He's looking to take him on the high side on three. We come into three. Bency's going to stay down low. Pasalaco with a nice run on the high side. Going to stay wheel to wheel with him. Coming out of four, and Bency's going to pull away just a bit. Can he have the power? And he does. And he's going to drop down, try to break that trap. But Pasalaco with a good run on the high side, along with Leclerc and Teed running third and fourth. We've got a race going into one.
Certainly, as they dive back into the corner, Pasalaco back on the outside lane. Here comes Bency. Bency's there. Here comes Leclerc licking his chops now, ready to make a move on the north end of the speedway as they hurt the short chute down into turn number two. Now they roar to the back straightaway. See Leclerc. Now Leclerc will go to P1. Leclerc now once more to the inside. Bency. Bency looking for that top spot back to the west end of the speedway as they go into the turn number three short chute. Exiting now off of turn four. He'll clear him down below the apron as they exit off the corner. A little bobble and a wiggle and a giggle and a jiggle. There. He'll pull to the outside. Now back to the inside. Team Red Bull on Bency back to the lead in turn one.
Pasalaco was looking to pick up the draft from Bency, has to fall back into third position. Winuk has moved up to fourth now. We come out of one and two, and it's going to be Bency still in the lead. Leclerc is going to go high side. Pasalaco is going to follow him, try to work that draft up there. Winuk's going to go down to the low side. Pasalaco back and forth, trying to figure out what they're going to do here as they go into three. Everybody hugs the low line except for Leclerc, who's going to stay to the high side out of three. Short chute into four. We line up single file. Now Leclerc is going to look to the inside. No, Leclerc goes high. Look at that, man. They are trying to stay out of that draft. That's one thing that IndyCar so highly important. Winuk up in the fourth position now. Bency will stay in the lead with Leclerc in second, Pasalaco third, Winuk in fourth. Looking back at Charles Johnson, falling back to 13th position.
Trying to cut the air off. Yeah, trying to cut the air off from one another as we watch these drivers work their way up the racetrack. Looks like Josh Garner might be off the pace in the number 12. Now he'll finally get back up to speed. Watch him as they work their way down into the corner again. There's the number 18 machine of Charles Johnson off the turn, down the straightaway, down the flag stand. Little contact there with the 9 car of Joe Hutchins. They now hold on, keep going forward past the yard of bricks, back to roaring speed into turn one with Bency still the leader. The battle continues for 14th now with Johnson. There's a battle now for the lead brewing with Bency, Leclerc, Winuk, Pasalaco now in that battle. Now they're going to fan out to the inside. Bency looking on the bottom of the racetrack. He goes topside is Bency. Inside is Leclerc. Leclerc back to the lead as they go to the west end of the speedway in the short chute in 3. Down into turn 3. Off into the turn 4 corner. Back down in front of the roaring fans virtually here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In front of the pagoda. Leclerc and Bency flip-flopping, fighting over the lead like they stole some change and more. Back to turn 1, side by side in 3, 200+ miles an hour into the turn. Here comes Pasalacqua, Wanique and Teed. They're all in that mix along with Combs. No one trying to give an inch as we not even hit halfway yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee, you got a race now, my friend.
Yeah, we sure did as they come down the back stretch. Forward, sir. Take it, Wesley, go.
What a job they've got going on as they work their way back into the west end of the speedway, into turn number 3. They'll work their way off of turn number 4. Back down the straightaway. Caleb Bency, the band is on in front, literally 35 thousandths of a second, even more. The field roars down the straightaway back into turn number 1. Bency, Leclerc, Pasalacqua, Teed, Combs, top 5. No one making a move yet inside the top 10 to get back to the other drivers that are in the top 5. As here comes this move now, riding on board with Eric Peterson. He'll now battle along with Vincent. That is for 6th, 7th, and 8th, clearing him for that position as they go back into the corner, back to turn number 3, back on the short chute, down on the front stretch now this time here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The race continues on. We're on lap number 30 this time by of 170 laps to go, 20 to halfway, and they go down the straightaway, past the yard of bricks, past the pagoda, past the scoring pylon, back to the turn 1, and it's still Bency. You're riding on board with Peterson now, Lee, as they go into the west end of turn 2.
Into 2, now down the back stretch. Bency will continue to lead us. We are in at the 36 of Eric Peterson. I mean, you can just see the way these cars are moving around, coming up to the backside of Combs now. Trying to figure out what he's going to do with him going into 3. They're both on the bottom line, but now Pearson's going to get by Hutchins on the high side. Look at Joe Hutchins moving up in 8th position now.
Here they come, back down off the corner. Oh, hold on, that could have been bad. In the back, that white car. He could have crashed, holding it together. No yellow flag. It could have been nasty for just a second for Hayden Herman, the driver out of Ohio. As you got another guy shooting down below the apron with an issue on his car. Jack Walls on the track back in front of Sean Garrett. Sean Garrett. Wow.
You're supposed to be up there, son. There you go. Garrett finally back up on the track. There's a lawn mowing. Came back up almost in front of someone. Garrett's going to fall way back now in 23rd position. He will continue to lead with Leclerc in 2nd, 6th, and 3rd. Pasalacqua back in 4th, and Teed will be in 5th position. Bency now looking to maybe make that pass on the high. He's traveling on the really high group. And we got a caution.
Caution out over the speedway. The 5th yellow flag waves here in the Indianapolis 250 after almost a 10-lap green flag run, if you will, and it's involving Cody Bullock again in the number 11. He gets into the 32, flying through the air. Cody Bullock in the 32 also, and that is why we are under the caution flag yet again. Trouble on the speedway involving those 2 cars, a multi-car accident with Cody Bullock, who rim-righted the wall earlier, now the 32 involved. And look at the great piece of driving Lee everybody made to get around that accident where the 32 caught up in it as well. We're going to ride on board and take a look at another replay.
Yeah, so Bob Skinner got caught up in that as well.
My apologies. I think I said it was 32. It's the 82. See how hard it is to recognize the numbers? Look at that. No, it says 32.
T-bone. Bullock T-boned him. Ah! They wheel touched. There was a wheel touch there. Bullock started, not being in control of the car, and then poor Bob Skinner get caught. But look, man, where am I going in this replay? Can you imagine being in that car? It is flipping, and now we look at Skinner. Skinner comes up, and he's looking at Bullock. He has absolutely nowhere to go. Dives down to the inside, and Skinner will avoid it. Wow. Nice driving by the Cat guy, Bob Skinner.
A tough break there, if you will, for the driver And by the way, I really believe it's Hayden Herman in car number 32. He's the one that who got plowed into by the machine of Bullock. I don't think it was the 82 of Bob Skinner. I know these cars look so similar, but it was the 32 of Hayden Herman that got plowed into by the man of Bullock. And we're going to see now a lot of drivers come down to the pit lane for service. A lot of cars.
No, you didn't say that right. Not say that right. We have this many cars coming down pit road on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. That is referred to as pit party.
Well, excuse me.
Number 34.
Well, let me try that again here. Let's go in reverse. Here they come, ladies and gentlemen, on the pit road, almost the entire field. Pit party time. There you go.
There you go. See, now we've got something that transcends no matter who's doing the broadcast.
There you go.
Party lives at Freaky Fast.
There you go. So now you can get my pictures. Okay, cool deal. I'm gonna send them to you now. It was
even when I'm not associated with Freaky Fast anymore, y'all will still know that is something fast to have and hold forever.
I have to say this, a pleasure working with you, Lee, because I was told by a lot of people, and even Robert said this, and Robert, you can chime in here as our host of the Indy 250. He said, you put Wesley Outland and his personality and the way he calls a race with Lee Tidwell and the way he calls a race, we're in trouble. This is going to be fun.
Yep. I said it multiple times, and I warned everybody.
I have a lot of side quests during caution flag. So, and on top of the press box, you can see so much, behind the stands and stuff. Like from our view right now, I want to know what the people are doing in the RVs back behind the track. I want to know what they're barbecuing. I want to know where a funnel cake is. That's what I'm looking
where's
for.
The
you
funnel
have a lot of squirrel moments. Okay, you're kind of like the Rutledge Wood of Freaky Fast Broadcasting right now.
I am the poster child for ADHD.
Squirrel.
I feel like Hammy from Over the Hedge. I really do.
Oh, I love that movie.
I'm 35.
I like the cookie. And I like the cookie.
Oh, stop, guys. Stop. Okay, oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
36 of 100. We are under our 27th caution of the evening. As we will get, it's close enough. We will get set to go back green. We're right along with Sean Garrett now.
This is why Robert wishes that we had commercials to play so he could shut us up. Okay,
yeah. I think next time I'm crying. I think next time I'm gonna have commercials, and I don't care what they are.
All right, so there's a new show that's out on one of the streaming services, and it's called Upload. And what this show is about is in the future, like 15, 20 years from now, before you pass on, if you basically pay for this digital afterlife, they upload your consciousness into a virtual world, and you can feel, you can taste. It's like you are in a virtual heaven, so to speak.
Yeah, they had a movie about that back in the 90s. It's called Total Recall.
Yeah, but this was funny. And you can understand what they're saying. Anyways.
Oh, my God.
But no. Would you just to have your conscious uploaded instead of passing on naturally?
Yeah,
because that's one of the moral dilemmas in the show. Because the way that they present it is, if your conscious is uploaded, that's also your soul. So there is no afterlife if you go uploaded. So if you believe in an afterlife, then there's no possibility of that if you upload. So like one of the characters on there, her dad.
I got you. Okay.
Amazon Prime.
Where did this come from? Let's get you back to reality. They are coming to the green flag, Lee. They are coming to the green. Your conscience is on the green flag right now. The green is out. We're back underway here in Indianapolis in the virtual greatest spectacle in racing. Bensley, Leclerc, Pascalacqua, Teed, and Combs off into turn one, and the show goes on again as we approach halfway.
Leclerc continues to work that high side. Pascalacqua's going to come underneath and fall in behind Benzie. Teed and Combs will round out your top five. They're going to hang back and see what's happening here. Everybody moving around, coming out of two. We got some movement going on. Leclerc, Benzie, Teed now takes third position from Pascalacqua. Combs will remain in fourth as we go down into three. It's going to be Bincy on the inside, Leclerc on the high side. Team will follow Leclerc. Passalacqua will follow Bincy. As we go out of 4 down the backstretch, we're going to move it around, try to break up some of that trap. Leclerc in second position. Passalacqua will retake third. Where did Teed go? Teed fell all the way back to 6th during that.
The top 12 starting to go away. Look out, Grandma. Grandpa stole your blanket and he can put it over front of the field. They make their way off to the north end of the speedway, down the back straightaway, through the short chute now. As Leclerc still leads, there's Charles Teed for Dark Horse Racing. He sits in 6th. That's that gaggle of cars of a dozen or more fighting for it. As on the outside of the Baker's dozen is Jack Walls. He had problems earlier. He's trying to get back in the races. They move into the west end of the speedway in turn 3.
Yellow.
Leclerc takes the lead for Bincy. Oh, man.
Bob Skinner goes around. He's the one that decided to be the lawnmower man earlier, and now he finally spins it out for Team WSSR, and another car is involved. The number 28 car is also there.
Man, unfortunate event for Bob Skinner as Skinner comes out of the turn. Looked like that 28. Oh yeah, he got
the 88 got into him.
Wrong place, wrong time. Michael
88.
Smalls.
Yes, sir. Michael W. Spells got into him there. We missed that. Our camera crew called it now on the replay, but we missed it in the live feed. Michael W. Spells turns in to the number 28 of Brian Johnson.
Turns in and hits poor Bob Skinner.
And Bob Skinner, yes,
flying.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and Spell just tight. Very, very tight. And not sure exactly the last time he pitted, but that's something we got to start looking at is to have it pitted.
Yes.
Now tires are starting to become an issue, and driving differently. And even the guys that did get tires, how fresh are they? How old are they? Are they up to temperature with all these cautions? You really get them up to temperature. So lots of stuff going on. Biggest benefactor. All of this just happened is David Leclerc, who took lead right before the caution.
Everybody came down to the pits on lap
35.
I don't think they're going to pit. The leader was just kind of psyching everybody. David Leclerc says, psych! So
he tried to play a
say
mind trick on him.
If he would have pitted, well, everybody in the top 13 didn't pit. The front runners didn't pit. But if he did pit, I think everybody would have dove onto the pit lane because it's always the scenario of what the leader is going to do. What is the leader going to do? If the leader pits, we're going to follow unless somebody wants to play possum and hang back. But pretty much there, a good psych job by Team Red Bull there of David Leclerc from Canada. He was still the man out in front. Caleb Bincy in second. Passalacqua third. Combs, Wink. You know, I've seen some really good racing amongst these packs of 12 like we just had a moment ago before we had the caution flag. If we can get a good green flag under our belt as we're 10 to halfway, 60 to the checkered flag here in the Indy 50, I believe we could see one hell of a race with these open wheel guys virtually.
No, it truly could. You know, going to be, by the time we go green, probably at lap 42, 43, give or take, almost halfway, then you're going to start seeing some strategies playing out. And I'm interested to see what Brian Johnson does. Brian Johnson is a second half of a race kind of guy. He's the one that does sit back, 10th position or back, and then works his way through the field. Johnson now in 17th position. Coming out of the pits. Again, Cat 5 guys going to take those tires when they can. This is a guy what his picture looks like, I promise you, he can drive.
Watching these drivers, there's Brian Johnson for Category 5 Esports, as you mentioned. As David Leclerc still leads the way here. 40 laps into the Indianapolis 250 on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Let's bring our host, if you will, host producer running the boards, making us sound good even though you're in your car and I'm in a hotel room, Robert Moyer. And Robert, would you agree as they work their way down the front straightaway still under yellow that if we could get a good green flag run, we could definitely see some talented racing? There's a great bunch of guys here from Canada to the States that are doing really, really good. It's just a matter of just got to get this green flag run under our belts.
Yeah, we haven't hit halfway yet, gentlemen. So I agree with you, Wesley, there. 41 laps into this, I think, the air, okay, where am I going to go with this? The draft is so strong that, with all these cars out here, you're dicing and slicing like we said before. And the moves are getting it's like they're racing the last 5 laps of the race when actually it's not. I think they just need to fall in line, be patient. Like Lee likes to say, patience is a virtue, and, just ride. And I think once we get that, we'll see the front pack, the back pack. I think we'll see a couple different packs like forming and breaking away. But the racing will still be good, but they just need to calm down a little bit from what I'm seeing, because again, the draft here is so outrageous. It's not like a stock car or the ARCA cars or anything like that. You get a run on somebody, sometimes it catches drivers off guard. Like, I mean, you're coming up on somebody at 240 miles per hour and they're only going 230, 10 miles per hour. That's a huge difference when it comes to these Indy cars.
Oh yeah, that's when you make up. You see the such quick gain in distance when they're going 7 to 10 miles an hour after coming out of that draft and whoop, suck right up to the back end of. And we actually saw that happen in a caution earlier. I can't remember which it was, but they had a better run than they thought they did and put that weight right underneath the back wheels of the car in front of them.
Correct. So
I hope so.
No, you're right. You're right. And I think oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Here we go. We're going to come back for the restart, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be lap number 41 complete here as they work on lap 42 through the pagoda, past the yard of bricks here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway virtually on Freaky Fast. Back to turn 1. They're back to speed. Gives them about a lap so before they get back to full song, just like a restrictor plate race for Daytona or Talladega for the Cup cars. The same for the Indy Warriors as Leclerc is back to the whip again on the north end of the speedway out of 2 to the back straightaway.
Combs goes to the inside of pass over to third, will stay in fourth. Charles T now takes fifth from Winnup as we go into 3. Passalak continues to work the high side. It's Leclerc, Vinci, and Combs. 1, 2, 3. Then Passalacqua leads. We'll look to the inside of Passalacqua as we come up to 4. Now down front stretch. Everybody around, but we've got 2 lines. Oh, Leclerc just kind of shot up there. Everybody threw a block in there in front of Vinci.
Through the block, made him get a little nervous there for a second. I could have said the word crash. I thought it was happening, but nevertheless, they keep on going and they play fair off the corner, down into turn 2 to the short chute, down the straightaway. Look at this battle now, heating up for the lead. Leclerc and Vinci, round 2, down the back stretch into turn number 3 at the short chute in the corner.
Vinci to the high side. Leclerc will hug that ball as we come 3, going towards 4. Vinci is looking back and forth. What can I do here? It's going to depend on what Leclerc does coming out of 4. He is going to shoot down. Vinci will stay high. Passalacqua will stay behind Vinci. Team now comes to the high side and will overtake Combs and Passalacqua and move in 3rd position. Power move by Charles T.
What a move now, Charles T. Where did he come from? The man for Dark Horse Racing closing in now on Vinci. Leclerc under attack now. Leclerc falls back to 2nd. T looking for more. He's on the outside, licking his chops as they move into the corner to the west end of the speedway into 3. He is on the bottom. Leclerc throwing the block. Vinci behind him, and now T has to back off, and the caution's out again. Trouble on lap 44 as we close in on halfway again. Yellow out for the 6th time here in Indianapolis. Lee.
He was looking for his way around. Ben was right behind Peter and nowhere to go, and then had to come out. Oh, Hutchins barely went below that apron, dipped down into the grass, back up, took a few cars as we Winnup. Oh man, Winnup was in like 5th or 6th time.
Nick Winnup, the 33, also involved. Another car into him as well. Nick Winnup, what a tough break for him for Dark Horse. He literally was almost in the he literally had a good run going for him in the top 10. And the orange car got involved as well, but again, a tough break. And I say this again, if you think being an announcer is an easy job, why don't you try it? Because, I mean, even for this virtual deal, it's so hard to try to keep up with the names and the numbers and who they are and where they're coming from, because they're literally just all over the place, going so fast. And like you said, Cup cars, stock cars, Their nose to tail. You said this as well earlier when we came on the air, Lee. And their nose to tail, you can kind of follow them a little bit. These cars are bobbing and weaving and zigging and zagging and juking and jiving, and they're doing everything they can to not even plow into the back of one another. And they're just going so fast as we see cars make another pit party.
I will train you right. I promise. We get you there, man. We got the pit party down. Now we just got to get you interested in funnel cakes and Mountain Dew, and then we're like soulmates.
There you go. Now, listen, I used to like Mountain Dew a long, long time ago. Hey, by the way, Justin Allgaier just won the Xfinity race at Dover. So, but anyhow, big props to my buddy for Justin Allgaier. But I do want to say, I used to drink Mountain Dew like crazy. I loved Mountain Dew, but I ended up in the hospital, and they used to say that they're bad for you. They're bad for you. Especially, I have diverticulitis. And if I used to love Mountain Dew, I used to love junk food, spicy foods, everything you can imagine. And then I ended up in the hospital, and I had to stay in the hospital for about 10 days. That was a life-changing experience for me in 2018. And since then, I try to watch kind of what I eat and what I drink and stay away from the hot stuff. And so I do love funnel cakes, though. I have a weakness, though. Can we be 50-50 on that? I mean, funnel cakes?
Yeah, I'll let that slide.
Okay.
But yeah, my Mountain Dew, man, I drink way too much Mountain Dew. I probably drank 100+ ounces of Mountain Dew a day, and I have
my goodness,
for 10 years. Yeah, probably about 10 years. I'm surprised I don't have a twitch all the time. Look like Tweak off of South Park or something. Leclerc will continue to lead with Teed in second, Sant in third, Pasalacqua fourth. Peterson will move up to fifth after that incident and caution. Gardner will be in sixth, Benzie back to seventh, Charles Johnson in eighth, Benjamin Combs ninth, James Brooks will be in 10th position. And look at there, Zach Hall and Brian Johnson, 14th and 15th, two Category 5 guys. This is the time that they start making moves and making plans. Is that halfway point? It's going to be interesting to watch those two. Lap 47 of 100 complete here at Indianapolis. Lee Tidwell, Wesley Outlet, and Robert Moya joining you here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Welcome to this special matinee edition here this Saturday afternoon of IndyCar action, brought to you by a whole host of leagues, including the Dark Horse, their team, the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series, Area 51, World Series of Sim Racing is here. We've got all kinds of teams, all kinds of drivers for this huge event, and we thank you so much out there on Facebook and YouTube for joining us. And if you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, do me a great big favor. Just go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. You can hit like or a heart or a care on Facebook to show us that you're watching. On YouTube, make sure you like that video. It helps us out. It helps these drivers out because it helps the algorithm when people are looking for iRacing. Our videos will pop up. Also, if you're not following Freaky Fast Broadcasting, shame on you. Why aren't you? Go ahead and click on that follow and subscribe button. Click on that bell for notifications to know all the new content on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. I learned that from WatchMojo.com. But you can follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us there on YouTube so you can keep up with all of the action. And we're about to have a lot more action here on Freaky Fast. Big announcements coming. Freaky Fast growing by leaps and bounds. Big shout out, congratulations to Robert Moyer, who started with Freaky Fast a long time ago, back in the Racing Freaks days, and has evolved this broadcast into what you see today. And Wesley, you're an outstanding addition to the team, sir.
Thank you, buddy. I just kind of stumbled into it a couple of weeks ago by just virtue of and ever since then, like this week, I think I've done three races or so with Robert Moyer, and I enjoy working with the Freaky Fast people, amongst all the other things that I get to do, as well as we're back to green flag. We're 3 laps to the halfway mark here in the virtual greatest spectacle in racing here on Freaky Fast, the Indianapolis 250, and back to it again on the back straightaway. It's David Leclerc, Teed, Sant, north end of the speedway. Drivers fight and claw as they approach the cross flags from Barney, the iRacing flagman, in just 2 circuits as they go to 3.
go into 3, and Teed will take the lead. Charles Teed in the lead for the first time this evening. Sant in second. Leclerc moves back to third as we bring it down the start-finish line through the front stretch. Sant's going to shoot to the outside. Him and Teed racing it down. Sant will take that lap. Teed pulls it back out into 1 with Leclerc looking to charge here coming out of 1.
Back to turn number 1 and 2. 2 laps to the halfway make as here comes Teed now. He's on the man of the whip to the lead, followed by Sant Leclerc. You're right in on board there with the man there in fourth of Peterson. Eric Peterson for the Midwest. He's in that 36 machine on the top shelf of the Speedway, the silver and black car, making his way now, passes the blue machine right in front of Team Red Bull of the machine of Leclerc, who led most of the races. They now work their way off of turn number 4, back down the straightaway. 1 lap to halfway. It's getting good in Indianapolis. Teed roars with the lead, back past the yard of bricks with a 3-car battle brewing for the lead in turn 1.
Charles Teed will continue to lead. Sant's working that high line, and he is not giving up on it. Looks like Peterson has now went up there to join him as well, as Leclerc will stay on the bottom side. We've got 3 cars on the high line, everybody else hugging the bottom side as we come through the turn. Teed, once he gets out in front, Charles Teed is he's a good driver no matter what, but once he's in the front, he's dangerous. And dangerous as that he can take off and leave this pack if he wanted to. But it looks like they're staying very close to him, and nobody's going to let Charles Teed just take off and run away from this pack. As you ride along with Leclerc in third. Leclerc is sliding around, working with Sant. Sant on the high side in second position. Teed will continue to lead. And look at Sant with the nose in front of Leclerc. They are side by side down the backstretch, Wesley.
Yes, sir. They're coming to halfway, ready for they are at halfway, actually. The second half of this race is underway here at Indianapolis just after 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central, as on in the turn number 3 and actually getting 4. There is Leclerc. You're on board with Team Red Bull, the man out of Canada, looking to the inside of Teed, to the outside of Teed. He's got to run on the outside. Here he comes back to the lead for the second half of the race at Indy. They roar side by side. You're licking his chops, ready to pounce like an alley cat in a dark night on the mouse. He's going to be the man of Alexander Sand. He's up on the top shelf for third. Count out also Peterson, Johnson, top 5. They're with each other as they go to the back straightaway, the north end of the Speedway off 2.
We're looking to go 3 wide. Teed, Leclerc, and Sant as we go into 3. T on the low side has retaken that lead, and now it looks like Leclerc is going to fall back. Sant's going to stay on that high side as we race it into 4. Charles Teed will regain the lead. Sant, Leclerc, Johnson, and Peterson, as you said, Wesley. Then we got Bency, Pasalacqua, Combs, Brooks, and Winnup rounding out your top 10 coming down the front stretch from our blimp view. And now it looks like we've got some racing for the lead again as Sant is making that high line work. Teed in second. They're back and forth coming out of 2.
Back out of turn 2 to the back straightaway. Down the back stretch. Looks like they're 2 by 2 for first and second. Fourth and in the middle is Leclerc in the middle lane. He is the joker to the left, clowns to the right. He's stuck in the middle as they work their way a little net code there a little bit. You know what net code is? Net code is basically an issue with your internet server not connecting properly to your iRacing simulator, and that was on Caleb Bency, and that would be tough for the 21 car if he can't get that fixed as they work their way back around to the west end of the Speedway now to the back stretch heading for turn 3. Peterson and now Johnson trying to get around the machine of Bency. Bency still having some of those netcode issues. He's now in a gaggle of cars behind him with now Pasalacqua, Combs, all behind them, as well as the other guys in the front runners we mentioned a moment ago into turn 3 and 4.
Yes, these guys have now started to settle down a bit. There's still a lot of racing going on, but they've settled down in their aggressiveness. Brandon Colley back out there now. Colley right along in the 14th position. Bob Skinner in 13th now. Bob Skinner's at 14th. So some of the guys involved in the earlier incidents now making their way back up through the field. Skinner in that 82 machine for Category 5 Esports. Maxwell Caldwell with Yingling Racing in the 94 machine you see on the screen, racing in the 16th position with Brian Johnson to the inside of him. Johnson looking to make a move and overtake Caldwell, and Johnson is going to start trying to climb his way through the field. Ryan Kelly in 18th position at number 57. Ben and Jerry's I Want Some Ice Cream Now machine racing down the backstretch. Nope, that's
You want Ben and Jerry's, and I want good berries. And why don't everybody just fight over some Dairy Queen while we're at it? T. Leclerc, Sant Johnson, top 4 going at it here at Indianapolis as there is Zach Hall, the pole car. We just saw him a moment ago on the screen starting to make an ascent to climb through the field as here comes the pack now. Coming across, there's your top 15 on the upper left. It's Charles Teed on that neon yellow car, bottom. Team Red Bull behind him, and David Leclerc from Canada, third. Alexander Sant now in the second spot, and Caleb Bency after netcode issues picking him up, but he's on the inside as they go 5 cars, single file for the lead. Here comes Johnson as they roar back into the corner in 1.
Coming out of 1, the race for the lead is going to be Sant and Teed. Teed on the inside, Sant to the high side into 2. Teed's going to hug that line. They're going to be pretty close. Teed's going to pull back out the lead. Sant will stay in second. Charles Johnson will be in third. Now Sant will pull into the lead on that high side. He's making that high groove work, Wesley, coming into 3.
Making it work as well, as you said, as they work their way again off the corner, down off of turn number 2. Back straightaway, if you will, to the north end of the speedway, now back to the west end of the speedway, through the short chute, back down the straightaway. Oh, look at this. Here comes Sant. He wants the lead around Teed as they cross the yard of bricks. Teed wants it back as they burn a speed in turn 1.
Teed will regain the lead. Sant second, Charles Johnson fourth after that earlier incident had moved back up to position after the fast repair. They come out of 2. Lots of movement, and look at that pack. That is a beautiful sight. Watching these cars come down the backstretch. Teed will continue with the lead. Sant's going to continue to try to work that high side. Winook has now moved up to 3rd position, and he is on the move. Wesley coming out of
Back off of turn number 4, Nick Winook again after that problem that he had in the W33 machine for Dark Horse Racing. Now coming back to the field in that 33. He's now back to 2nd. Remember, he was involved in a crash 2 cautions ago, flying through the air after an accident not of his doing. He now has moved to P2. Sant falling back now to 3rd after licking his chops 1 time or 2 just for a cat's whisker at the line leading the lap. And Charles Teague back to the whip. Here comes Winook. And now Sant back to the outside. 3 wide. Those cars battle in the 3.
Winook now dives to the outside. He's going to challenge Teed going into 4. He is in front of Sant, who's now moved back to 3rd position. Bency now moved up to 4th, and he is going to follow Teed on the low side. It is 2 by 2 across the line. 60 of 100 laps here at Indianapolis. And now Teed has pulled out a little bit of a lead. Winook is going to be back. We got a caution.
Caution crash. Josh Garner, a bunch of other cars crashing as well.
Yeah, Garner, I think, was able to escape. Benjamin Combs was flying like a top, just spinning and twisting. Let's see what happened here as the Napa machine comes out of the turn and gets tapped in the back end by Joe. Joe and Combs into the wall. Look at Joe go flying.
Wow, look at Joe flying, man. I believe I can fly. Look out, R. Kelly. Holy cow. Look at the 2 car just barely wiggle around through the 77 of Combs. Combs out of the Carolinas, where I'm going to be heading after we finish this race.
And Hutchins goes all the way to the inside catch fence. Spectators aren't even phased. They're like, we know we're good. We're virtual. It's like upload. Nothing can hurt me. They're
not practicing social distancing, if you will.
No, and these cars aren't either. But now's the time that we can be acceptable of not using this 6-foot distance with the vehicles that are on the track. But man, they race so hard the first 60 laps. What's the last 40 going to look like? And Charles Teed is just like, I'm not waiting on the pace car. Y'all just need to catch up with me. He's way ahead. But
and I will say this, Robert, we'll bring you back in as host of this broadcast along with Lee. Gentlemen, this is what I was telling you before we had that caution, that excitement, that green flag run for over, 10, 12 laps that we saw. Yeah. That was really great racing. Teed, Winook, Sant, Bency, Palasqua, Pasalasqua, Johnson, Brooks, all these guys. And how about Brandon Cawley? Remember Brandon Cawley bringing out the first caution of the race? He's now was able to draft and climb his way back in that team's oil entry for Driven Motorsports, back to 8th position. Here he comes in that yellow 01, and it's another pit party. Lee, they're coming to pits, buddy.
I don't think I'm ever going to be able to say it again.
You just lost that phrase, man.
I know, right? I got to come.
Well, you're the one that started it.
You know what's funny? What's funny is if I actually done it in a real broadcast, my producers would be like, "What the hell did that guy just say?" Like, what's that? So
it's always my job as an announcer, at least my self-imposed job, to leave my producer speechless at least 3 times during a broadcast.
And he does.
Absolutely, yes.
And he does.
Like, yeah.
That's all I'm saying. He does.
As long as I can do that and I call a good race, man, I accomplished my job. So, lap 62 of 100, we are back under caution. And, Robert, who is bringing us this fine race this evening?
That would be Area 51 Racing League. Also, Gulf Coast Series, Indy Series League is bringing it, and then you got Dark Horse Racing also bringing it. So them are the 3 proud sponsors of tonight's race.
Yeah, and they've been excited about this. They've been planning this race for weeks now, and to finally have it on the track and have everyone join us to watch it, and all these guys. Oh, got a blinker. Is that Pasalacqua?
No, AJ.
No. AJ Musselman blinked there. But have everyone join us. We appreciate it. The drivers appreciate it. The leagues appreciate it. And I want to thank you all for joining us this afternoon. So lap 62, as I said, of 100. And now, Wesley, strategy is going to change here. We've had most of these guys, they made a pit stop. So they could make it 40 laps if needed. Not preferable, but if needed. We could go green this entire way. What is the strategy from this point forward?
Oh, man, I feel like it just depends on what happens. If we get caution flags, then, obviously they're going to take advantage and make pit stops. So if we can get this long green flag run to happen, then so to be it. We have the lights off on the pace car, the wave around's going on for a guy laps down or more to get at least try to get a lap back as the lights are off, and we're going to come back to green next time around. But, I can't call this thing. Man, the top 15, the top 12 for that matter, have thrown a blanket over them. They're literally proverbially right there within a cat's whisker of one another. The racing has been exciting. It's been intense. What a virtual Indy 250 to set the stage for the real Indianapolis 500 tomorrow afternoon on NBC in Indianapolis. I mean, you can't say Leclerc's going to win it. You can't say it's Teed or Sant. Any of these guys can win. When Nuck came back from a crash, we just mentioned Brandon Cawley a few moments ago. Josh Garner got involved in an accident. Bob Skinner got in an accident. So did Michael Spell. And now they're in the top 15 to possibly pull off a big victory here. So it's been a fun show. I think the last 37 laps are going to be just exciting as the first 63.
I think it's going to be a little bit more exciting. I think it's going to ramp up within about 15 laps here. You're going to see guys start dicing in the back, going to the front.
So Musselman pitted on 45. Leclerc pitted on lap 50. Everyone's pitted on. They're in this. So our front two, not with his front tires, but they have some used tires, but not so much that they're going to be slick or undrivable. We might actually see these front get a little bit distance before he's able to warm those up.
Ready to come back
with me
to the green flag. I will agree with you. I was just saying,
I made so many
wow,
statements that's just been left with silence. I'm like, guys, come on.
Because we're back to green. Let's see what they can do again. 36 remain in the Indianapolis 250 here on Freaky Fast, and on the green flag jump, Musselman will now show his opportunities of strength to lead on the north end of the speedway off the short chute down the back straightaway. It's Leclerc getting it back for Team Red Bull out of Canada. Back to the leader. Will he? Musselman back to it, and they fight for it again out of turn 3.
But into 4, Leclerc will continue to lead. Musselman fell back to second. coming down the front stretch. We're going to move it around, but we're going to stay file coming across the line. Leclerc and Musselman are raced out, and you've got Teed and Sant right behind them, and then Nick Winuk in 5th position. Bentley now trying to make a move and come up and join that lead pack along with Passalova. Out of 2, down the back, Leclerc and Musselman will continue to race for the lead. Teed in 3rd in our front. Now 7 have packed it up.
They have. You better pack a big lunch if you're going to try to take down drivers like Leclerc, though. The man out of Canada is so strong. Musselman in 2nd spot. Then you've got Charles Teed. He's led most of the race of the Neon Yellow Machine, sitting back in 3rd. And how about Alexander Saint? This driver is from Indiana. That's his home state, the Hoosier State, where this virtual Indy 500 race is going on. Tomorrow, the big race, the 250 today. We got a car, contact, wiggle and a giggle. Hold on, save. No yellow. Keeps on going.
He was all the place. We had contact back in the back. We'll continue 66 to 100 here at Indianapolis. Leclerc will continue to lead. We're looking at Maxwell. He's in 50th position. Has ball right behind him. Trying to chase down Kellogg, who is in 10th spot. Coming down the front stretch. And we're going to shake everything up. Leclerc will continue to lead. Teed, Winuk, Musselman will be your top 4 as we ride along with Colley. As we talked about, Brandon Colley now back up to 11th position, trying to climb his way through this field. Now down the backstretch, Wesley.
Back in that field, back into the corner into turn number 3 they go. Leclerc, the man out in front. To the west end of the speedway, they go to the north end. From the short chute off of the corner now, roaring back a speed into the 3 corner. Now out of turn number 4, riding on board with Brandon Colley. He's coming. Watch that Pennzoil machine, damaged and battered from the first caution. Back in the race and looking for first place as he's got a gaggle of traffic in front of him as they roar past the yard of bricks to turn 1.
Into 1. Colley will continue to try to chase him down. Teed will be in 3rd position. Behind Winuk, who has now moved up to 2nd. Nick Winuk up to 2nd position behind Leclerc and working that low side draft. Teed now looks to the high side. Winuk goes way high here as we're going to dive it down into the turn, trying to use as much momentum as possible. Winuk going for the lead.
Looking for the lead goes Winuk after flying through the air a couple of cautions ago. Now for Team Dark Horse Racing, he powers his Delara to the outside lane. Weasel and now through is going to be Bincy. Bincy will go from the outside to the inside, back to the outside lane. Watch that 21 car, it's getting dicey. 3 wide for the lead for a second as they move on with Wink, Leclerc, and Johnson for the lead. He'll go to the lead on a turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Leclerc will take it back, and they're still bobbing and weaving in the corner. Down the back straightaway. Pull out the boxing gloves. It's such a match here in squared circle Indy style. To the bottom, Leclerc, Johnson, Bincy, a triple threat, if you will. And this goes on a little net code for the Canadian. He saves his car as they go into 3 of the north end of the speedway. Wow. What a race. What a race, Lee. Down the straightaway, coming to 30 laps to go. Pick your poison, fans. It's time to get down wild here in Indy as Leclerc, Bincy, and Johnson. Now you have Winuk, Teed, Sant, Passalacqua, Spale. Here comes also Brooks, a partridge in a pear tree. They're all closing in on the battle for the lead as they go down the back stretch heading for 3.
Going into 3, Bincy will continue to lead. You see on the high side, Johnson behind them, Winuk and Teed. Teed got a little loose coming out of 2 that time, or a little tight, excuse me. And now we're going to bring it down the front stretch. We're going to settle it down, go 2 by 2, and bring it across with lap 71 of 100. Leclerc and Bincy continue to go wheel to wheel, and now Teed is pulled up side to side with Johnson. And then you've got Sant and Winuk racing it, so 2 by 2 by 2. Then let's throw it by 2 again. Spell and Brooks is going to do it as well. Whoa, that was close. Charles Johnson almost got hit by Teed there. Coming out of 2, we come down the backstretch. Johnson, you can see a great view right here of the top 3 with Bincy, Leclerc, and Teed. Bringing it into 3. Go through the chute. Going into 4. Teed's going to drop it down to the inside. Going to follow Bincy. Leclerc hung to the high side. Sant now going to pass Johnson and be on the high side as well. Across the start-finish line, Leclerc will lead another lap. And Winuk has fallen all the way back to 6th position. These guys are trading spots like I used to trade girlfriends in high school.
Did you literally just say in your commentary a moment ago that they're going to settle down 2 by 2? Dude, it's getting to the end of this thing. It's time to get freaky. Down the back straightaway, the north end of the speedway to the backstretch. Leclerc, the man out in front in Canada for Team Red Bull. Bensi in second spot. Moving on to Teed. They're flip-flopping, fighting for those spots. Back down into turn number 3. Now pulling back up to the lead is Caleb Bensi in the Pamtech 21. Even after those net code problems, he now takes it back to the inside of the racetrack. They're still making their way, weaseling inside, outside, trying to find which lane will work. Cross the yard of bricks. 27 to go in Indy, back to turn 1.
So yeah, they have it down some, and we got 30 laps to go. So that's why I said they're down to 2 by 2. As you see, there's not as much movement. There's not as much risk-taking going on right now. Yeah, there's some positions being overtaken, but these are smart passes. This isn't the craziness that we saw the first half of the race. So that is why I said that.
You got it off the corner, back out of the turn. Leclerc, Bensi, Sant, continuing on. It's time to get ready to decide who's going to be the winner of this still. A lot of bragging rights, a lot of prestige to be the winner here on Freaky Fast of the inaugural IndyCar 250. Who knows? Maybe next year we could go for 500 miles, 200 laps. We'll all go crazy and wear ourselves out as they go into turn number 3. What a show this 250 miles has been, because when this race finally ends, you're going to wish that it was still going on. They're down the back straightaway. Leclerc, Sant, Bensi, Johnson, Teed. If this is in the inclination virtually of what the Indy 500 will be, one of the highly most expected races tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be in for a barn burner at Indianapolis tomorrow afternoon when this race is done, when the checkered flag falls. Who's going to get the virtual Borg Warner trophy right now? Cross the line, 25 laps to go. Next time around, it's time to Katie bar the door in the daytime in the Hoosier State. Who's going to win the Indy 250? They're back to 2.
Coming out of 2 to the backstretch, Leclerc will be in the lead, Sant in second, Bensi in third. As we go into 3, a little bit of movement here going on. We dive down into 3. Leclerc is not hanging that bottom as tight as he was earlier in the race. So leaving a little bit of gap there. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Bensi is going to try to take advantage of that. As we come out of 4, Stant's going to drop down and get the draft from Leclerc, then come back up high and take that lead. Nice move there by Alexander Sant in that 317 machine as we come out of 1.
Back into the 1 and 2 through the short chute. Leclerc on the inside. Up top shelf is now Sant. What a moment would be for 3 wide now. Thinking about going 4 wide was the 21 of Bensi. 3 wide into turn 2. Bensi thought to go 4 wide. He backed off the throttle. Down the back straightaway. Johnson to the lead. Leclerc goes under nip tuck with him. And now Bensi follows under him off of 4. Down the straightaway. Here they come. Oh my goodness, wow. Leclerc, Johnson, Bensi, they're getting freaky back to turn 1 again.
Bensi in third position, right along with him, right to the backside of Charles Johnson, who's now moved up to second position. Johnson right behind Leclerc. Sant's going to be behind Bensi as we come into 1. And now we are in the backstretch. Look at the draft. The way that this draft is working for Caleb Bensi right behind Johnson. Not only is it helping Bensi, it's helping Johnson as well push him to Leclerc, as he has now a 0.2 of a second lead over second position. Now we look behind Caleb Bensi. Nick Winnuck now goes to the high side, down the front stretch.
Down the straightaway, they go back across the yard of bricks, back into turn number 1. Winnuck with a powerful move, a daring move, if you will, to the outside. But there's your run in on board with the Scenic Entry Firestone. Caleb Bensi, number 21 from Ohio. He's down to the bottom of the racetrack. Meanwhile, the top 4 cars in front of him, top 3 for that matter, all stay down single file. Or will they? Up top shelf, couple of cars getting antsy, led by Sant, starting a new line around Team Red Bull leader Leclerc as they goo off the west end of the speedway and come back to the yard of bricks off of turn 4, closing in on 20 to go here at Indy. Whoa, pit stops. Pit stops coming in. We weren't expecting this. Leclerc to pit road.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with that. Sant will take lead. Johnson will move up to second, but man, it's just immediate pit stop. Wasn't even thinking twice about it. So Sant will bring through. Johnson second, Benzie third, Winucka in fourth. That brings James Brooks up to fifth position. Then Teed, Spell, Hall, Johnson, and Kelly. Zach Hall, Brian Johnson, 8 and 9 now. Category 5 making their move. As we come out of the turn, Zach Hall, as we're watching him, man, Zach Hall and Brian Johnson, they are working very well together as a team right now.
Remember, Zach was the fast qualifier, and if you remember, he came to the pits at the end of the first caution on lap 1. And I'm wondering if this was a strategy, if you will, Lee, staying back, playing possum, not being in the mix the front pack, but then when it gets to this final 20, it's go time. It looks like Johnson and Hall have hooked up, and they're playing Maverick and Goose, if you will, up through the pack to make a run after Benzie to try to pull a win here with 20 to go.
Look. As we go through 80 of 100, we're literally seeing Category 5 work. Great team racing right now. Ryan Johnson and Zach Hall. Got Bob Skinner in 10th position. He's a Cat 5 guy as well. They'll all try up. Everybody, now we're starting to see some more matriculate in from the pit stop. So it looks like they're going to want to try to get fresh tires with 20 to go to race it out to the end. Charles M. Johnson now in the lead. Benzie and Brooks third, Hall fourth. Zach Hall up to fifth position with those pit stops.
So my question is this, Nick, Lee. We seeing Nick Winuck and the leader, Leclerc, and so many others that were in the front runners come to the pit lane. Now Charles Teed on pit exit. So is Josh Garner. Are they kicking themselves because of that last caution flag that they did not come down pit road like the leader Leclerc was whenever he psyched everybody? Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that was an excellent thing for Leclerc when he did that little mind trick trying to get some people down there. But now to see that strategy not pitting is going to pay off. We're coming down the backstretch. Benzie will regain the lead. Johnson will get second, Spell in third position. Zach Hall now in fourth position, right behind him. And in fifth, Ryan Johnson, they catch up to the big pack, will be sitting in sixth. As we ride along with Charles M. Johnson, we come out of 4, and now they're going to pit. So Benzie and Johnson into pit.
And my question is, when do you come? When do you come down to the pit lane? We just saw now Benzie pit. We just saw Johnson pit. I mean, literally give the lead back to the pole sitter here, the Indy 250 for Category 5, Zach Hall. Can he go to the finish? 17 remaining at Indianapolis. Hall and Kelly and Spell now the top 3 to the west end of the speedway in 3.
Brian Johnson moving up now to 4th position in this lead pack. So 2 guys out of Category 5 will be in the lead pack, with separated by Ryan Kelly and Michael Spell. As we bring it through the turn and now down the backstretch, Zach Hall will race Ryan Kelly, who drops down to the inside. Nice run there by Kelly. Will overtake the lead as we go across the start-finish line into 1. It's going to be Kelly, Hall, Spell, Johnson, Skinner, as Bob Skinner has now moved up to 5th position. Brandon Colley up to 6th. Maxwell Caldwell up to 7th. Benzie now has fallen back to 8th throughout the pit stop. Santa 9th, and Charles M. Johnson in 10th. Now we got some racing going on with about 16 to go.
The pole car back out in front in Zach Hall. He's again for Category 5 Esports leading the way. Again, Kelly behind him, Spell behind him. More cars making entrances onto the pit lane. Kelly gives up 3rd. Spell gives up 4th. Here comes Bob Skinner, Brandon Colley. They're all in the pits back to turn 1. Who's going to kiss the virtual? Who's going to kiss the virtual yard of bricks? Who's going to drink the virtual milk in victory lane and hoist that virtual Borg Warner trophy here at Indy? Zach Hall, the pole car, back down the back straightaway, going to 3 and still out in front.
Zach Hall into the lead. Brian Johnson in 2nd position. Johnson is he's a winner. He's an end of the race, late race, strong running winner. And this is the perfect position for Brian Johnson to be in, along with Zach Hall as well. But now they're going to come in and take their final pit stop. Sir. They did it with 16 to go. Oh, no, Johnson hit the wall. Johnson hit the wall. He was trying to avoid that cone. Hit the wall coming into the pits and cannot get spun around. Wow. Disaster.
And there will be no caution because it happened on a safety part of the course in the pits. No yellow flag. Watch the replay, the blue car.
So
Gonna
we're
make
looking
a-
for the replay
wow.
now, but yeah, Zach Hall and Brian Johnson come in, and I don't know if Brian did not wasn't slowed down enough and had to get on the brakes more and lock the wheels up, but immediately just dove right, hit that inside wall, took out the cone, and an unfortunate event for Brian Johnson, who played his cards right so far until that misfortune. Zach Hall, hopefully.
And it's
Zach
about to
Hall.
come up here right now. We're showing the replay. Watch this. Bensey's in 21, and here comes Johnson. And there you go with Hall, the pole car. Hall comes in 5, his teammate right behind him. And look at the mistake, as you said there, Lee. Tough break. Back slowed up to try to avoid getting a pit penalty for speeding. And then his teammate Johnson had nowhere to go and hit the wall.
Oh, and it killed the front wing and everything. So let's hope that Johnson has used that fast repair yet. He has not. He's got a new car.
And I wonder, as we approach 13 laps to go here at Indy, did Hall get an EOL penalty? Did he get busted for speeding on pit road? I know he's currently in fit 7, so he might be okay. But I was just wondering if there was a penalty there, or he was avoiding penalty for not entering pit road too fast, and that's what lost his success, a failure for the driver of Johnson, because he was trying to avoid penalty. Johnson crashed trying to keep that from happening. What a heartbreak, and I think this will definitely be one of the moments of the Indy 250 that when we look back on that race, that will be a highlight that is also a disaster for drivers like Johnson and more.
So the 5 pulling Betsy Johnson and Leclerc. He will be in the lead with Charles Johnson right behind them. Seth looking to maybe make a move on the high side. Then you got and Leclerc. Your top 5 bring down the front stretch. Going to snake it along. The top will work the draft. Look at that. Johnson Seth working the draft to take Benson.
The bench driver
wrong on the bottom side.
Oh, wow. Yes, sir, they are, as they work their way back on the north end of the speedway off turn 2 through the short chute back down the long back straightaway. A 3-car battle now for the lead. Bensey's got it. Johnson wants it. Sant from Indiana wants to represent his hometown in 3rd. And closing in is Brooks and guess Team Red Bull. Leclerc in that battle as they go into the north end. Now the west end of the speedway in turn number 3. And closing in on 11 to go this time by, coming to the home stretch here at Indy.
We exit forward. We see him moving around trying to break the traffic. There goes Johnson. Johnson dumps it to the inside, the high side, looking to overtake Bensey. He does have a nose over Bensey, but Bensey is going to race him through 1 and now heading into 2. They are neck and neck, wheel to wheel, and Bensey will retain that lead. If Johnson just did not have the run. And now look at Sant. Sant's looking to try to make something. He's going to drop down to the bottom side, draft with Bensey. Brooks goes to the high side to draft with Johnson as we come out of 3, headed to 4, Wesley. And we have got a race going on. 10 to go when we cross the line.
10 laps to go. This by when they moved on the inside. There goes Bensey giving a shove as Johnson through the middle. Comes Sant and also Johnson going to the lead. Man, what a move there. 10 to go here in Indianapolis, and it's about to get good here to the finish. They're in turn 2.
Yep, going into 2. Johnson will hug that bottom line. Bensey will remain in 2nd, looking for a way to regain that lead. He is right behind him. And now we got Sant, who's going to shoot to the high side and see if he can make a run to the top side. We're running to 3 now, and we got a 3-way race with Johnson, Bensey, and Sant. Look at them side by side. Bensey on the high side, Johnson on the inside. We bring it into 4. Down the front stretch, it is tire to tire. And it'll be 92 of 100 when we cross the line. Bensey back in the lead, Wesley.
9 laps to go here at Indianapolis. Back to the turn 1 corner with now the man out in front of Caleb Bensey. Net code problems, issues, 3 wide and all. He's still back in the game. He's back on the inside. Kit cars are entering on the racetrack after their pit stops, and they got to be aware of that. As that goes on, they're battling for the lead. Back to the outside, a wiggle on the top shelf move by Johnson. He looks up there on the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies, trying to make a move, looking around Bensey, hooking up now with Sant. They make their way around the corner to the north end of the speedway, back to the west end, down to the straightaway. 8 to go at Indy. That roar continues back into turn number 1. Clean air for Johnson and Benson. Back to it again in the corner.
Benzie will continue to lead, being on the bottom side. He's going to have sand behind him. Johnson's going to work that high line and now drop down, and we're going to do single file around 2, leading into the backstretch. Now we're going to move it all around, and let's figure out how we're going to do this. Benzie in the lead. Johnson goes to the high side, puts the nose out in front of Benzie. As we go into 3, they're going to be wheel to wheel going down that short chute. As we come into 4, these two are racing hard here in the last 10 laps. Benzie, Wesley has a very strong car, a very strong line, and continues to slightly have the upper hand over Johnson. Can Johnson make the move with 6 to go?
No, actually, it's 7 laps to go. Remember, the way the iRacing deal goes, it goes lap 94 to actually go back into the corner of 100, and there is a caution, and this will change everything. Yellow flag coming out for the 7th time here at Indianapolis. And I think it's Nick Winuk for Dark Horse Racing that's crashed again here, Lee.
Yep.
Oh, he turned in front of him. That's the 88 machine. Car number 88 turned in front of Winuk. Shades of what happened the second time he was in a caution the first time. It looks like the 88 Lee, and that is the driver of Michael Spell turned or just got into Nick Winuk's car, and that's what causes the caution. Now, can we get back started in time, or will this race finish under yellow and Caleb Benzie wins the race here? Now, what do you think, Lee?
You know, with the way cautions are, you're looking at least 4 laps of caution. So that is...
could we see a 1-lap shootout?
There.
Maybe a 2-lap shootout?
We could.
No, IndyCar does not do green-white checkers. They if they're following under the IndyCar format, if there's a caution and if they're at the end of the race, if there's a yellow flag, the yellow flag ends the race. They do not have a shootout, no, wild overtimes, nothing like that. So my question is this: we've noticed around 3 laps or so, we're working lap 95 complete now, because if you remember, and as I was trying to say, even though it says 95 of 100, in the real world, we would say 5 laps to go. Technically, we are on 6 laps to go. When they cross the scoring loop and it's lap 96, it's actually 5 laps to go. So, because actually they'll take the white flag on lap 100 of 100, and then they race back to the checkered flag. I don't know who created that. I don't like it. I've always had issues myself, Lee, calling races with it. But I'm just trying to tabulate and see, can we get the pit stops done, the wave around, the 1 to go, and see if we can get back to green flag by lap 98, I'm predicting. Hopefully we can.
Yeah, and mine was just because I made a mistake, not because I don't know how it works. So just to make sure you understand that. You chastised me for 2.5 minutes about why I was wrong. So no, I understand that part. It's just I ended up and it was in the yellow. It's a little hard to see. So I apologize for my mistake, sir.
Hey man, don't be like that. It's all good. You're fine, brother. Come on. No, you're fine. You're fine, Lee. You're fine, brother. It's all good. Hey, I literally like it either. I really don't like it either. But yeah. But hey,
what you think? I'm not doing it from my vantage point with my regular equipment. I am literally still sitting in my car. People keep coming outside the office looking like, "What the hell are you doing?"
What the hell
I got a headset on.
Doing? Yeah,
I've got my big headset on, sitting here talking to myself, and everybody's like, "What is this guy doing?" And there's people that work for me. They're like, "So my manager's crazy. He might need to be medicated."
Hey, next time, just roll your window down and just start, calling the race. Just pantomiming to him.
Absolutely, got the air conditioner going. Man. I am not a heat wave kind of guy. So yeah, I cannot do I've actually been, and it sounds terrible, but I went to a hotel one time for work, and the air conditioner would not cool the room below like 72. I called the front desk. Was like, "You got to give me a different room. I can't stay in here. It's too damn hot."
72? It's too hot for you?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you like a polar bear, Lee? You got to have like under 60 degrees, 50 degrees?
My wife, that's my nickname. My wife is the panda bear, and she calls me the polar bear.
Oh, I got it. It's kind of strange that you say that because actually I call her Mama Bear and she calls me Papa Bear. So, we kind of have a bear thing related with one another. I mean,
Lap 97 of 100.
One to go. One to go, guys. One to go. I was right. They're going to come to green on lap 98. They're going to come back to green on lap 98, Lee. So this is going to give them 9,900. What, 2 laps? 3 laps?
It'd be a 2-lap shootout if we go green on 98. It'd be 3.
It'll be 3 laps.
But is the lights off?
Yes.
Yes, they are. Cool. So we will be at 98. So 3-lap shootout to the finish here for the Indy 250, presented by your Gulf Coast IndyCar League Area 51 Dark Horse Racing, and of course, Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Lee Tidwell, Robert Moya, and Wesley Outland joining you here this wonderful Saturday afternoon as we get set for a shootout to finish off this outstanding race. We have seen highs, we have seen lows, we've seen great moves, we've seen mistakes, we've seen it all so far, and it's not over yet. No, sir. It is not. One more tie. And when we come out of 4, the pace car will go in, and we will bring it back to green. 3 laps to go. Benzie in the lead. Charles Johnson in second. Sant third. Brooks fourth. Leclerc fifth. Zach Hall up to 6th. Pastelak was 7th. Garner 8th. Johnson 9th. Ryan Kelly in 10th. The pace car goes off, and here we go.
Green flag.
Caleb Benzie will bring them to the line as you hear those Indy cars starting to rev up. Johnson right behind them. It is a 3-lap shootout for all the glory here at Indianapolis. We go into 1. Benzie will hug that bottom line. Have Johnson right behind him. Sant's going to start working the high side already, along with Brooks. Brooks is going to go to the high side as well. Coming out of 2, down the backstretch, are starting to mix it up, and we're going to see some racing here, Wesley. 3 wide down the backstretch.
To the west end of the speedway, possibly the most important restart ever for Caleb Benzie, but here comes Canadian for Team Red Bull, David Leclerc, back to the outside lane, looking for the lead. Pole car, Zach Hall, back in the battle. Watch the Lucas Oil machine to the line. There are 2 to go in Indy down the straightaway as they cross the yard of bricks. 3 wide for the lead. Somebody lift. They're going door to door from 3 wide into turn 1.
Benzie's going to get into 1 to have to the high side of him. That Hall slated at the 3rd position. He's going to hug that low line followed by Johnson and Sant. We come out of 2 down to the backstretch. And 2 are door-to-door, Benzie and Leclerc. Zach Hall is looking for his move. Coming into 3. Everybody is looking at what's going to happen. Oh, we almost got a red flag. Coming into 3. Zach Hall maybe takes 2nd position. Taps there with Leclerc. Going into out of 4. Benzie has now built a little bit of a lead. You've got Leclerc and Hall.
Crash, a big one. White flag, and there's a big crash. Oh, no.
Charles M. Johnson is involved in that incident.
This race is going to finish under caution, boys. They took the white flag and had a big wreck. And David Leclerc is going to get back around unofficially to the lead. Wow. Watch this.
Yes. So watch it.
That's
Out of
88.
nowhere.
That was the number. Was that the 13 car? Number 18, Charles Johnson. 59 involved as well, representing NASCAR. The 27, the 22.
82 of Bob Seger.
The
The 12 is trying to avoid it, but he can't.
We got him crashing
Wow.
into the pit lane.
Bouncing over retaining walls.
Wow.
That
Talk
is
about
one of the
going out
most
with a bang.
That's one of the most violent crashes I've ever seen.
And
that,
mind
my
you,
friend, will do it.
and mind you, if you will, I know we're showing the replay. We need to go back to live pictures because I think this race is official. It is going to be over. This race is going to be officially over. They are not going to complete this race. They were going to come across the line here and take the checkered flag. I hate to break your hearts for those that are new fans of virtual IndyCar, but they just do not do like Cup Series does. They do not have no shootouts. They do not have no overtimes. They literally finish the race the scheduled distance, and that's the way they do it. This race will end. Lee, call the winner of the Indy 250, my friend.
It will be the number 21 of Jacob Bincey. Will take victory. A great race by Bincey. Leclerc in second, Kelly third, Zach Hall finishes fourth, Brian Johnson will finish fifth. And we'll have a full rundown of your finishing order and also interviews with Kate Bincey, David Leclerc, and Ryan Kelly when we come back here. A short break on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. This has been the Indy 250, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I don't know, guys. Hang on.
Going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we said we were done, but you know what? We're not done. We decided we're not done. We are trying to figure out the overtime rules, and I'm thinking it's a one-lap shootout. The way that the timing indicators are showing, Wesley, I'm thinking that we're going to go back green for one lap.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And what really gets me is, you know, if they would have gave us the memo on this, definitely a lot of better communication would have been to describe what's going on, because I'm as puzzled as you are, Lee. Normally, and I mean this, with the IndyCar races, they do not have overtimes. They do not have shootouts. They run the scheduled distance, and if they crash and they can't complete it, they throw a checkered flag. And it makes me sound like a fool, because we're saying the race is over. The race is not over. They got to come back and race again for one more lap.
Look, man, if that's the first time you sounded like a fool on a broadcast, you ain't done this long enough.
That's true. That's right, yeah. No,
I do it at least 3 times a race.
The question is now, what the hell kind of lap? This is going to be freaky, okay? Freaky with a KK, capital KKKY. What are we going to see when they drop the green for one lap for all the marbles here tonight, Lee? Oh, my goodness.
Especially now with Zach Hall and Brian Johnson in third and fourth. You got Bincey leading, who's been strong all race. Ryan Kelly has moved up to second. And then you got Hall in third, Johnson in fourth, Sant back into fifth.
Wow.
Caldwell, Brooks, Pasalacqua, Spell, and Gardner. Pace car is off. Here we go. One lap
green flag,
shootout.
Green flag.
Bincey will bring them to the line. Someone's taking a selfie out there to infield. Watch the race, woman. Here we go. Bincey brings them across the line. It's a one-lap shootout as we go down into turn number 1. Bincey, Kelly, Hall, and Johnson will start to accelerate through one. Now the short shoot. Kelly goes to the high side now, looking for the pass there on Bincey. As we come out of 2 to the backstretch, it's Bincey and Kelly, Hall and Johnson.
It looks like it's going to be actually a green-white checker shootout, gentlemen, on the west end of the speedway. They fight it out for 1.5 laps remaining. Benson hugs the bottom of the racetrack. He's catfishing on the inside. Meanwhile, up in the Angels Expressway is Kelly. Caldwell, Hall off of turn number 4. White flag in the air. One more lap to go here in Indy, and they're getting dicey again across the yard of bricks. 4 wide.
We're going to go 4 wide with Hall, Kelly, Bincey, and Sands We got Brian Johnson also up there mixing it up as well. Out of 1 into 2. Hall will now be in the lead. Kelly in second, Busy in third, Santa in fourth. We come down the backstretch. Kelly and Hall side by side. We got someone I think that's Johnson, who just flew down to the bottom side looking for some room here. In 3, it's going to be Kelly and Hall side by side. Racing, they touch. We got a spin behind him. Cars everywhere. Let's race it to the line, boys. Zach Hall in the lead. Kelly in second. Bitsy in third. Bringing it across the start finish line. And it will be Category 5. Zach Hall winning the race. Ryan Kelly in second. Bitsy in third.
Wow.
And a whole mass of cars. There's $14 million worth of damage on the final lap.
13 thousandths of a second at the checkered flag. Zach Hall, the pole car, plays his strategy, comes back after a hiccup on the pit lane, causing his teammate Johnson to crash. Johnson, again, Hall prevails and wins the virtual IndyCar 250 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And what a crazy finish that last lap provided. Holy cow. Put me to wow, Lee. Lee,
I need my
they're going to put you in
meds.
the nut house after you called the last lap of that race with all your coworkers here.
Oh, man. So, Zach Hall, your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we will take a quick break. When we come back, Robert Moyer will have our top 3 finishers in the booth to discuss today's race.
Yes.
And we will be back in just a moment. Thank you all for joining. Don't go anywhere. More
Lee,
on
I
Freaky
just
Fast
wanted...
Broadcasting. Yes, sir.
Lee, I just wanted to say that amongst everything, it was a pleasure to work with you, bud. I know we had some logistical stuff to make things work out the way we did, but hopefully we get to work with each other again. It was fun. And again, what a race, a fun time. And, go back to work. We enjoyed it.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. Getting off of my 2.5-hour lunch break to go back to work. Congratulations to Zach Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, Don't go anywhere. Robert Moyer will be right back with not only your winner, but the top 3 finishers next here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
All right, we are back. Thank you to Lee Tidwell and Wesley Outland for calling that race. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show as we get ready for our post-race interview here with the first inaugural Indy 250. Congratulations to the top 3 as we're going to have a talk with Caleb. We'll bring in Zach Hall, the race winner, riding in the back, which I don't think I can move. Let me see if I can move him. All right. Doesn't look like I can move him. Let me see if I can get him. All right. Got him down there. All right. And Ryan Kelly. I'm over at Area 51. Give me a second, everybody. And I'm trying to get everybody ready. All right. Here we go. All right. So as Caleb, we're going to get ready to have an interview with Caleb here. Thank you again, everybody, for us getting everything ready. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the show here tonight. or this late afternoon. We do appreciate everybody coming along, and don't forget to hit that like and share on Facebook. And also, if you're on the YouTube side, don't forget to hit that share to your favorite platform of your social media, or subscribe so you don't miss any of our actions. But all right, well, let's see how this interview goes here with Caleb. Caleb, Robert up in the booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yes, I do.
Oh man. Well, congratulations, man, on the first running here with this Indy 250 with these guys. You had one heck of a fast car. You're up 4 positions from where you qualified at, man. But you led a lot of laps. You were out there running around up in the front, battling with the top 7, 8 cars, sometimes top 10 cars. How was it out there for you tonight?
To be honest, a little crazy. These cars have a lot of downforce on them, so these runs were kind of unstoppable. Can't really do anything once you got to run. So I don't know, it was pretty wild.
Oh, it looked wild, man. It was crazy out there. From good old Ohio there, man. I don't know. So how was it up in the front? Did you want to? Of course, you want to stay up front, but how was the air out there with these IR18s cars for you?
Well, this particular setup, it was there wasn't a ton of aero wash until late into a run, but outside of that, there was big drafts, and like I said, unfortunately, that's all I could do at the end. I was holding it wide open, and of course, everyone just gets massive runs on me. But yeah, frustrating, I guess.
Yeah, I can understand. You're up front. You led a lot of laps out there. And that was going to be my last question to you here tonight or this afternoon. You know, coming on that last lap, coming to the white flag, you had about 6 cars all over you. You were diving, going high, going low, trying to block. You were doing everything possibly you can. And then Zach Hall got up underneath you there and got around you. What were you thinking when he got that move, like, oh man, I don't think I can make it back? Or did you think, okay, maybe I can do something with this?
Well, I think my chances weren't as good to get back to the front, but like I said, the draft is big. I had a chance there, but I mean, they're running side by side. You can't really do too much. But okay. Yeah, once he got to the inside of me, it was kind of hard to get back to. It was kind of just a big mess. But yeah.
Well, you stayed out of all the action and all the yellows, and then that last big wreck on the last turn, man, cars, I think half the field was knocked out of the race. I don't even know how many were involved into that, but you made it through it all, man. You're going to bring it home third here for the first time here. Like I said, with this Indy 250 brought to you by Gulf Coast and Area 51 and Dark Horse Racing. Hopefully next year we'll have another event like this for the second year in a row. But man, does anybody want to give a shout out for this third place finish, bud?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my family and friends for watching. I know they tune into a lot of these every chance they get, and I know they enjoy it. So I want to thank them all for watching, and thanks for everyone who put on this show. And hopefully, like you said, we can do it again next year. 10-4.
I agree with you. But all right, well, from Freaky Fast, congratulations again, man, and go. Can't drink the milk, unfortunately, but, you know, maybe get a Mountain Dew or Diet Pepsi or whatever you enjoy and go cool off, man.
Thank you. Will do.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. That was your third place finisher, Caleb, bringing it home third as we get ready to bring up good old Ryan Kelly. I haven't talked to Ryan Kelly in a long time, so let's bring up Ryan Kelly and see how that race went for him. Oops. Give me 1 minute here. Get him up. Ryan, Robert up in the booth, got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Man, long time, no talk, but congratulations on your second place finish, man. How was the race out there for you tonight?
Minus the cautions, it was pretty good. Just kind of just riding in the back and waiting until the end to make the money moves. But congrats to Zach. It was a great finish, and second place. It's not bad.
Yeah, you were staying into the back there with Zach and Brian and the Cat 5 guys. You stayed out of the front for, oh my goodness, probably about 30 laps to go. When was your time to make the move? When were you planning on, okay, I can't sit back here no more. I got to get up to the front. I got to start getting racy?
I was thinking probably right after that last green flag pit stop. Once the car started dipping in the pit, I started to try and push as hard as I could, and then I was pushing Zach there, trying to catch him before the caution came out. And then I actually pit again once the caution came out, just to get tires. I thought they'd be important for the finish.
Oh, okay. Well, were they important? Because you did. Zach pitted on lap 85. You pitted on last time. Shows 105, which I don't think is right. I think it was lap 100 with Charles Johnson. So, was there a difference on the way the car handled out there with the fresher tires?
Honestly, we were going so fast, I'm not even sure. I just thought because of dirty air, if I was stuck behind people, it might have helped a little. I couldn't even really tell. We were going so fast. It was all so quick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, going 240 miles per hour. I'm sure everything just went by so fast you didn't even know what happened, right?
Barely.
Well, all right, man. Well, hey, look, you take that Ben & Jerry's ice cream, go cool off. You get a second place finish here for the first time ever here with Indy 250. Hopefully next year we'll have another event at the same time here, and hopefully you'll be in the race, which I'm assuming you will be. But is there anybody you want to give a shout out to, Ryan, before I let you go on tonight's second place finish? But
Yeah, shout out to Zach for the win, Maxwell for my teammate that race, and Larry for being my crew chief.
oh, there you go, Larry Yingler.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna have to give a big shout out to him. He might not have been out on the track, but he sure called one well of a race for you, man.
Yep.
All right. Well, congratulations again here from Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and God bless you, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon again, man.
Yeah, take care, Robert.
You too, buddy. All right. That is our second place finisher. Now let's bring up Zach Hall. Category 5, brings it home for the race win. Puts it on the pole, ladies and gentlemen, and then he turns around and brings it home for a win. This is going to be an interesting interview, I can say this much, because I'm sure he's yipping and yelling. He did a lot of practicing lately here to get ready for this event, so I'm going to bring up Zach.
How about that, Robert? Oh. I got it. I already got it with me. Got it here, son. Man, I'm kind of blacked out after that race. I'm not gonna lie. Man, I don't even know where to start. Really, started on the pole, had a great lap. I probably couldn't have done that lap again. I tried. Beating out a couple of my teammates there. Man, what a race. Just stuck in the back, like you said, after that pit stop, and really just managed and tried to stay out of everything. I still had a fast spare at the end. I think I got my first incident there really right at the end of the whole race. And just, I knew it was going to be carnage. These cars, you see that when we come into the finish, these things are just so crazily, you can draft so fast up to somebody. You got to make literally moves that you would never decide to make in these cars, coming from my background in the stock car. And that move there at the end, I've been practicing that all week. I knew that middle, if that middle ever opened up and I had a chance, I had to dart to it. I feel bad for stealing it, right there at the end, but I mean, that is racing. So, it's just, but man, when I had the lead going into one there and I cleared the bottom, I didn't know what was going to happen. I kind of got into Ryan a little bit, I think in 3-2. I might have been neck. I haven't looked back at nothing. I've been walking around my house freaking out after that win right there. But gosh, these things are a blast, man. This is the first race I've ever driven this car too. So
really,
what a way. Yeah, what a day. Qualify on the pole at Indy here, riding the back the whole race. Somehow work our way up, and I gotta give a shout out to Ryan. Me and him worked really good to work our way back. Yeah. And if that caution didn't come out before the last green light checker, I still think I would have had a shot at it because we had about 4 to go. We were about 2 seconds back, and we were really rolling them in there pretty hard. It was Ryan pushing me under straightaways like a stock car. Man, what I just can't believe I won that, man. I'm mind blown.
Well, we are going to have, and I do apologize, I switched over to the race winner image, and normally I don't have my mic open as everybody else takes that over, so I unmuted myself, and I do apologize that to the fans out there, but I know they can hear me. But we're going to have a blooper, man. We're going to have a blooper. Cat 5 decided, and what in the world happened going into pit road and Brian Johnson? What the world? I mean, he bounced back.
Really bad.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. What happened?
I had to lead there, and we were trying to stretch it to take less fuel in that last stop, just so we could have a little lighter car.
Right.
And when he came in, I told him I was going to be pretty easy, and he had a pretty good gap behind me, but I think he didn't think I was going to be that easy on the entry. I mean, I definitely wasn't very aggressive in there, but I've been practicing all week, and it's very easy just to lock up your rear tires like he did, and it turns straight right when it does it, and it's almost impossible to save. It isn't like, a stock car where you can kind of will it a little bit. These things, when they break loose, it's just
they break
straight left or right, and it sucks because I didn't want, that was my teammate there working with me the whole race, of course, is always my wingman. And but luckily he got back up in there at the end, but I think he got got into somebody there. But yeah, man, I'm just happy to come out here with one of our guys here up in the front, and we all show pretty good. It sucks a couple of our guys got taken out. Cedric really had a really rough race accidentally and got kind of clobbered a few times. So, but that's racing, man, and I'm worn out. I had to turn the fan on after this and get right under it. Like, whew, I was about to pass out.
Now, I got to ask you if you can do it, and I don't know if you like selfies, but can we get a selfie of you drinking the milk?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Okay, they'll be on Freaky Fast Broadcasting's Facebook page. If you don't mind, I'm asking for permission.
I'm gonna pour it all over me.
Oh.
It's gonna be everywhere.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. All right. Well, stay tuned for that picture, everybody. But man, yeah. I could sit here and talk on, man. It was a long race. It was up and down for all you guys and everybody that was in this race. But
yeah.
Well, man, before I let you go, what do you want to give your final shout outs here for tonight? And I'm assuming you're gonna take that $50, put it back into the car, and you're gonna get ready for next year's event.
Yeah, definitely gonna be used $50 there. Actually gonna pay my internet bill, so that's a nice $50 there to pay that. So yeah, first off, shout out to all the guys that put this on. Charles Teague, he's done a lot with this. Joe Hutchins, Charles Johnson, all the guys that put this on.
Yeah.
It's tough to take a group of guys that don't race with each other and put them all on track, and you kind of seen that. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how other people race and certain little things and tendencies. So they did they were doing the best job they can to make the best out of this race. And coming down to the end, I don't think they could ask for a better finish. I mean, we were 4 wide at some points there at the end. So shout out to them for putting this on. Without them, it wouldn't happen. So I wouldn't even have been driving this IndyCar. I'd be preparing for Atlanta tonight. But and then shout out to, of course, everybody in the booth. Robert, you, Wesley, I'm sure, and Lee, y'all did I'm sure it was a fantastic job as always. I mean, I can't wait to go back and watch that end. I'm sure it's a classic one. And shout out to all my teammates also. They're always great help, and they just they always push me to they're never give up mentality. So I gotta thank them out a lot. Those are really good buddies. So shout out to really everybody tuned in too, man. I'm just worn out and I'm so excited. Thank you.
I can imagine. When anybody goes back and watches this broadcast again or for the first time, Lee Tidwell and Wesley Outland, oh my God, are they awesome. It is so funny to listen to them. They had me cracking up. They had tears coming out of my eyes. Them guys are a trip.
Hey, not bad for a part-time commentator here to win a race, right?
And yes, you too for helping out on Thursday night, which is funny now. We are going to get ready to let you go and celebrate this, but we just called this with Joe Hutchin, getting his Indy win with the Gulf Coast on Thursday night, and you just said, man, that must be a good feeling. Now you know how he feels.
Oh, it's great. It's probably one of my favorite wins of my career ever in sim racing. This one I'll definitely remember forever.
Oh, I'm sure. All right, well, we're going to let you go celebrate with your Cat 5 teammates there, and congratulations, Zach, again, man. I was rooting for everybody, but when I seen you take that lead, I got happy. I was like, wow, no way. Cat 5, as I'm sitting right now in front of the monitor with a Cat 5 t-shirt on. So until then, man,
I love that.
yeah. Until then, congratulate. Maybe it's a lucky thing, right?
Right?
Until next time we catch you up in the booth here, man. Congratulations again, bud, and we'll let you
Robert.
go celebrate it and have fun, man.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, that was our race winner, Zach Hall. As we get ready to bring up our unofficial results, I do apologize for my volume getting muted there for a minute. Normally don't have it set up as I have other people in the booth, but here we go. We're going to bring down our final results before we sign off here. I want to say again, big thank you to Gulf Coast for and Area 51 and Dark Horse Racing for letting us broadcast this race and picking us to do it. And hopefully they enjoyed the broadcast and they enjoyed everything. But all right, well, I'm not going to try to run down this whole lineup because, as everybody knows here at Freaky Fast, I stink at it. But you can see Zach Hall's going to bring it home third with Ryan Kelly in second. Caleb is going to bring it home third with Brandon fourth. Fifth, rounding out your top five, is going to be Charles M. Johnson with Bob Skinner. Good run for him, bringing home sixth. AJ Musserman in seventh is going to be in seventh there. And then in that 317 is going to be Alexander. In eighth, Maxwell Gladwell. Well, see, I'll mess up his name all the way anyway, but he's going to bring it home ninth. And then we got David Leclerc rounding out your top 10, which he was up there battling for the lead. He was up and all over the place, and unfortunately, I think he got caught up in that last incident. But, well, we would like to say again to everybody out there on YouTube and Facebook, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to share this. Spread it out all over Facebook and the social platforms of Twitch, YouTube. Share it to your favorite stream or whatever you want to share it to as social media, And also on Facebook, you can share it to your friends and families. Give it a like. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and like us on Facebook. But until then, I want to say again, thank you to Lee Tidwell and Wesley Outland for calling the race, and hopefully everybody enjoyed that. But until then, we'll catch everybody Sunday night with Sim Racing Unleashed at 7:50. Until then, God bless everybody. Love yous all. Peace out.